6:02, good morning, live from the 104.5 The Zone Studios. I'm Justin Hawkins. The Tennessee Titans return to the practice field on Wednesday as they get ready for their second matchup of the season with the Indianapolis Colts, this time on the road. A loaded injury report highlighted by Jeffrey Simmons, L'Jarius Sneed, Calvin Ridley, Bryce Oliver, and Arden Key, all listed as did not practice. Interim head coach Mike McCoy announced yesterday in his press conference that Sneed will miss some time with a quad injury. Meanwhile, Jeffrey Simmons will be week to week with a hamstring injury. In other NFL news, Ravens quarterback Lamar Jackson returned to practice yesterday for the first time since injuring his hamstring in Week 4, but head coach John Harbaugh did not say whether Jackson will play this week against the Chicago Bears. Big news for the Tennessee Vols baseball team yesterday as head coach Tony Vitello is finalizing a deal to become the next manager of the San Francisco Giants in Major League Baseball. Vitello becomes the first ever to jump from college coach to MLB manager without any professional experience. Frank Anderson was named the interim coach for Tennessee, and Josh Elander will be a top candidate to be the next coach, as Danny White will hold a nationwide search. And in the NBA last night, the Memphis Grizzlies are off to a 1-0 start to the season as they beat the New Orleans Pelicans 128-122. Point guard Ja Morant had a game-high 35 points in the win. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you got to go to USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Thursday morning on Ramon and Will starts right now. Streaming live on 104.5 The Zone TV, Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitter, or Twitch. On this show, Thursdays are Friday Juniors, so we will celebrate properly this morning. On the week being almost over, 615-737-1045, how you jump in. As always, Scooter's Coffee brings us to you. Locally owned in Rivergate, Smyrna, Brentwood, White House, or Mount Juliet. Amazing people, amazing drinks, amazingly fast. The Titans are shorthanded as they head to Indianapolis. How do they make it interesting? How do they do the unthinkable to people outside of Nashville? Maybe not in that locker room, unthinkable. How do they make it very interesting against Indianapolis on Sunday? We'll talk about that. Coach Mack at 7:20. Mike Keith at 8:20. Thursday, 3 picks in hour 4. Ramon Foster, how we doing? Good morning.
We're good, man. I like these type of weeks right here, man, where you feel like the world is against you as a player, as a team, at this point, as a fan base. And that's when the team gets tight. That's when you start looking at one another like, all right, how locked in are you? What are we supposed to be doing this week? You look to your leaders, man. That's going to be a fascinating conversation, Will. And then it's also a rival, too. But other than that, I'm good. Got my red Kango hat on this morning for whatever reason.
You in business?
Yeah. It's getting cooler outside. I put a little head cover on this morning, Will, man, and I'm excited to do this job. I tell you often, I get excited to come and do this job with you.
I do too.
Yeah, so
we have a good time.
We get a real opportunity to talk about sports this morning. Had a couple meetings yesterday, had to knock some stuff out. You guys did some stuff too yesterday around the station, man. But let's go. I'm ready for this weekend. I don't know why, but I'm ready for this weekend.
I love it. And I do not love the injury report that came out yesterday from Ascension St. Thomas Sports Park. We begin there this morning with a long laundry list of non-participants at Tennessee Titans practice yesterday. So 2 players, non-participants because they were resting, Jihad Ward and Kevin Zeitler. The other non-participants included... I feel like I need to clear my throat to do a long list here. Blake Hance, shoulder/back. Johnny Hecker, illness. Arden Key, quad. James Lentz, shoulder. Bryce Oliver, knee. Tony Pollard was also given a resting. Okay. Calvin Ridley, hamstring. Jeffrey Simmons, hamstring. L'Jarius Sneed, quad. Limited. Xavier Woods, ankle. Sebastian Joseph Day, limited calf. Brutal.
That's pretty tough. This is that's a long list of A players right there, contributors. You can throw Tony Pollard out in that situation right there.
Yep.
Johnny Hecker also, throw him out. But like the list of veterans that are on that, is pretty iffy, man. I wonder what, since we are in this world of like Achilles injuries and stuff like this, like what does a calf mean for Sebastian Joseph Day? He went limited, which is fine. Did he get leg whipped in the back of his calf? Is it just sore? Did he catch a cramp? Like those type of things. Will it stop him from playing this upcoming weekend on a long list of veterans that you hope to play against a rival, in which the Indianapolis Colts are? I don't know if I've seen a list like this, Will, since we've been here doing this show.
It feels very Vrabel-esque. The Colts, meanwhile, non-participants Tyquan Lewis, Kenny Moore, and Braden Smith. Braden Smith getting a rest day. Tyler Goodson, full participant. Ashton Doolin, full participant. Samson Ebukam did not practice. Josh Downs and Jalen Jones were limited.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to be a lot of the focus today and tomorrow morning is how the Titans really overcome, A, their injuries, and B, just how good Indianapolis is at home and how good Indianapolis is in general. So we're going to dive into that coming up in about 10 minutes about what players said yesterday, some interesting stuff from Mike McCoy, and how the Titans make things interesting on Sunday. But, Ramon, we begin as well with a farewell. It happened yesterday. At last, Tony Vitello watch came to an end. He is the new manager of the San Francisco Giants. It felt like it was trending this way yesterday. By the end of our show, what was your take on seeing A, him leave, and B, hearing from Danny White speaking with the media yesterday?
It was, when seeing him leave, I guess I compartmentalized it a little bit so I wouldn't be as hurt by it, or that is not that big of a deal, because social media made it a big deal. It is a big deal. It is a great part of history for Tennessee baseball, considering a national championship came out of it. The way I felt about it was he was either going to hurt you now or hurt you later. Not necessarily Tony, but like the situation of him being pulled from somewhere by somebody. How long and how sustainable was it? My mindset is Tennessee's a baseball school, but it's not a traditional baseball school. Some bigwig was going to try to come buy him away. I just didn't think it was going to be the MLB. This never happens in this world of MLB. It
has never happened before.
I didn't think the MLB would come grabbing him. Now, I did reach out to a couple of guys I know that play professional ball in the MLB, and I asked them, I was like, how do you think this is going to go for him? And their comments were, if there's anybody that can do it, it's him.
Yep.
That's the comments right there. Those are the comments. If anybody could do it, that's him. They were just talking about the adjustment to the 162 games, though. Not being able to handpick your guys is another part of his job that he's going to have to get used to. In college, you're getting the best of the best. He could was at that point where he can handpick prospects. They're either coming to University of Tennessee or they're going pro.
Yeah, it is going to be an adjustment for a guy who has stream of consciousness press conferences, who is fiery and isn't thinking about the next day's game or the next week's game or the next month's game in a sport in college baseball that feels a lot like a sprint compared to Major League Baseball, which is very much a marathon.
Yeah.
How does he adapt his style of communication, his style of just being himself?
Mm-hmm.
For 162 games, because I'm not sure the way he acts during games and conducts himself is sustainable for 162 games. But he'll also know that because he's not dumb. He will understand, all right, I've got to adjust and change the way that I speak, A, to my players, B, to umpires, C, to the people helping put together my roster, because I am not the one in charge of putting together the roster anymore. No. So stylistically, I think it's a very fascinating case study in a guy who has always been a winner, changing his pathway to winning in real time. For Tennessee's perspective and from his perspective, I always thought this was a no-brainer, to be quite honest with you. This is a once-in-a-career opportunity for Tony Vitello. If you don't take this job, it's not like it's going to come back up again in 2 or 3 years. This is a legitimate organization with history, with a guy that he is friends with in Buster Posey, who he's clearly met with time and time again. It is a chance to do something with no risk, to take a step up with no risk, meaning if he fails, he can come right back to college.
You best believe it.
And he can be, to me, it's Nick Saban leaving LSU. That's what Tony Vitello is. It is the best coach in the sport at that moment, who, I mean, maybe still doesn't have the lifetime Nick Saban didn't have the lifetime achievements that some longer tenured coaches did at that time,
Right.
but the up and coming best days are ahead of you. One of the best elite coaches in the sport taking a jump that they know they could just take the step back down if they need to later. And that's what Nick Saban did. I think the problem for Tennessee fans is that they are worried that Tony Vitello is going to come back and go to a different program in 3 to 5 years. That's the very real fear that you've got to embrace at this point. But happy for him. I echo what Danny White said yesterday. It's not a sad day. It's exciting that Tennessee baseball is able to be a part of something that's never happened before.
No doubt.
Again, like we talk about, it's more than just talking about the baseball coach in October. Tony Vitello is a little bit more than just a baseball coach in this state and in that university.
Think about this. This is the first time from college to MLB. Well, college baseball to the MLB. But the other part of this conversation is always going to be, if you win, they're going to come poach. Like I said, this is the first time they've poached from the big leagues to college. But think about the Signetti conversation, right? And Indiana, you win that big, you're going to grab somebody's eyes.
Difference is he's 61.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's
a little more
also
settled. Tony doesn't have a wife or kids. He's not as settled.
Well, my point of it is like it's attractive to watch people win, and somebody somewhere is going to want a piece of that in some type of capacity.
Yeah.
And that's what Tennessee's dealt with right now. Like, I look at this, if Kim Caldwell is in a position where she goes and win. Like, somebody in the WNBA might want a part of that. Pat Summitt, I'm sure, had this in her career to where somebody wanted to know if she would come coach somewhere.
I'm glad you brought that up, though, because I do think there is a key difference in the way rosters are built now. And I do think that it's harder to be a college coach than maybe it ever has been.
Easily.
Especially non-revenue sports and non-football sports, to be able to put together rosters, and you are competing with so many different factors for players' attention, for players' full investment. We got a question in the chat saying, do you think Tony would have left if he didn't win the national championship? Yeah, probably. Like, this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity that no one else in the sport has ever had with no prior professional baseball experience. This is not normal.
Oh, no, it's not.
It probably will never happen again for the foreseeable future. So happy for Tony Vitello, and we'll see what Tennessee does next. It's going to be really fascinating for them, too, to see what the next days look like.
I was shocked by, a little shocked by Frank Anderson being named interim.
Yeah, so I was, too. Frank Anderson has been a head coach before. He was a head coach at Oklahoma State for years.
Makes sense.
Frank has also been adamant and open with anybody who will ask that he does not want to be a head coach. To me, that says it's a day-to-day job, not a 2026 season job. I was curious if they would make Josh Elander the interim for 2026, and then maybe if Josh does well enough, you make him the coach, or you maybe go hire a new coach if it doesn't go well at the end of 2026. But I think it was more about, Danny White said yesterday, I'd like Josh to build focus on his candidacy. And he's in the middle of all this, too. So I think a lot of it was make Frank Anderson the interim so Josh Elander can focus on his interview and preparing to maybe be the head coach.
That's smart.
So we'll see. We will see. 615-737-1045. Much more on that as the morning continues. Mike Keith, we'll talk a little bit of Tony Vitello with him, I imagine, as well at 8:20. Your phone calls at 615-737-1045. Live for the 1045 The Zone, Circus Sports Studio. Kentucky's largest sports book can now be found at Circus Sports at Kentucky Downs. Coming up, how the shorthanded Titans can upset the Colts. Coming up next.
Is your concrete in need of repair? Maybe your sidewalk has shifted on you. Your driveway crack, you've seen it backing up or walking down whenever you get an opportunity, or maybe your porch steps have moved on you. Shifting concrete can create a dangerous situation or just a trip hazard around your home, and nobody wants to fall walking up to your house. That can cause other issues that you just don't want to deal with also. But here's the other thing. It's a big eyesore. Shimon Fawson, whatever's going on with your concrete, call United Structural Systems. Ask them about their polyurethane foam injections. You've heard about USS 411. long time. It's the same company that's provided superior foundation repair and waterproofing to Middle Tennessee since 1994. Well, they can fix your sunken or settling concrete. USS uses polyurethane foam injections to lift and repair your sinking concrete in a matter of minutes. Lifted concrete can be walked on immediately or even driven on after about 30 minutes. So don't go through the long, expensive process of ripping out and replacing your concrete. Reach out to the company I trust for a free estimate. That's United Structural System. You can go to their website at ussTN.com. That's ussTN.com, or call them 615-488-7855. United Structural Systems.
Ramona Will, 104.5 The Zone, fueled by Scooters Coffee, locally owned in Rivergate, Smyrna, Brentwood, White House, or Mount Juliet, 615-737-1045. Ramon Foster, Will Bowling, Justin Hawkins, our producer at Ramona Will, where you follow the show on Twitter. Titans and Colts on Sunday, 3:25 from Indianapolis, Indiana. Ramon, what were weeks like this like in pro football? What is it like being a team that no one's giving a chance outside of your locker room?
What is it like? Man, it's rough because as players too, you feel like, all right, this is up against us. Like they got that player available, this player available, et cetera, et cetera. And you do start to look around like at your teammates, like how good are we? What do we do in training camp? How do we get to this point? Who's going to step up? That's where the development side and having a standard for what your expectations are have to play a part into weeks like this. Like having gone into, playing against games against Peyton Manning where you got to go to Denver and you're like, man, this is going to be rough. Like you in your mind, you've heard me do this, I'm sure, time and time again. You've heard playing. I've heard you do this stuff too, to where you paint yourself as a villain. It's us against them. They're the worst things that ever happened to us. They're stopping us from being what we want to be. Like it becomes more psychological because you're going to need that. The physical side in which teams present their eliteness to you, how elite they are to you, is evident. You're going to see that time and time again. And you got to paint it in your mind that they hate me, I hate them. And it does become more a mindset, Will, than it is game planning and anything else. And that ain't nothing that you can really just put on a poster board, but coaches set you up the week of. And they'll do all the stuff that we do on Scout Meeting Wednesday from time to time. They tell you how good this person is. They'll tell you what this team accomplishments have done. They'll let you know what they've done to other people, how they've done it, et cetera, et cetera. And then they'll let you know, okay, well, this is how we'll attack it. We'll attack them by taking this player out, but we're going to need you as a young player to step up in these moments. Coaches do a good job for the ones that believe, for the good coaches, of making the guy that's never made a play or a young fella that's never been in a position to be good, make them feel as if they're 10-year veterans. Like, it starts with the messaging of the week because, again, if you go into it knowing that you're going to get your butt beat, but you also feel that too,
sure,
why even play the game?
What was the biggest upset you were a part of? Do you remember?
The biggest upset I was ever a part of.
College or pro?
It was probably biggest upset as a pro was beating the Jets in Pittsburgh.
Okay.
To go to the AFC Championship game. And in that same world, too, beating Baltimore, because nobody had us beating Baltimore going into that 2010 Super Bowl run that we went on, the season of 2010. Those moments right there to where Flacco was cooking, or you had I think it was Mark Sanchez.
Oh, yeah.
And everything that they had going in there, Bart Scott. The can't wait games, like those games right there were everything against you. And we were down in those games and still come out and win it. Those are probably my biggest upsets. So beating the Patriots, I think in 2018, when we weren't supposed to beat them, Ben was out. I think Mason was out. And we ran Wildcat to win the football game.
Well, and then that's the thing that this staff and this team has got to decide on is what are they willing to do on a given day to win a football game? Meaning, again, I feel like a broken record how many times we've talked about this. How long do you try to develop Cam Ward into what he could be or adjust to what he is right now in order to win on any given game day?
The second part is where we ended up having it was Jalen Samuel was our quarterback. Was our running back.
Sure.
And he had a unique trait of being able to catch the football in the backfield and run it.
Because, again, traditionally against a team that is so good on offense as Indianapolis,
you gotta
playing keep away and running the football and sustaining drives, like all of these things, and starting with the ground game and just making it a time of possession game, that's what you want to try to do against an offense that's averaging 33 points per game. Now, first of all, you've got to be able to sustain drives in order to do that. The Titans haven't shown the ability to do that this season. But again, a 3-yard and a cloud of dust, a cloud of turf pellets and Lucas Oil Stadium offense is not the offense that's going to put Cam Ward in the best position to be successful. So you're met again with these crossroads of the best pathway maybe to keeping it away and helping your defense and beating Indy does not get the most out of your quarterback. So what matters more to you?
So I'm looking up this game we had was Devlin Hodges, Duck Hodges. He's married or engaged to Lainey Wilson. We were going out to San Diego at the time to play against a San Diego's Chargers team that still had Phillip Rivers. And you know what we did with a guy like him? We rolled him out of the pocket. We threw him to the flats. We kept the football. We ran the football. We did, and to your point, play keep away with a guy like him, especially with Phillip Rivers on the other side of the football. If you're asking me what's the game plan for a team like this that has a rookie quarterback that doesn't understand the totality of what the league presents itself, this is a game where you kind of just say, let him go. And, I've been let Cam go. But when you don't have the protection of your offensive line, you got a lot of guys that's banged up and beat up on the other side of the ball too. The action is to go on the attack, and you have to. But here's the thing about attacking them. It's got to be quick. I do think at this point in the season, you got to pace them, and you got to make sure that Cam, and I heard Coach Mike McCoy yesterday, keeping everything in front of him. I think that's been the biggest thing that I think that's taken away from his progress, is the idea of looking down the field. Mike McCoy was very distinct in how he said yesterday.
Yeah, we're going to hear that in a half hour.
You got to take what's in front of you.
Yep.
And that's what it results to for a guy like Cam and this offense. Like, I want to believe that they want to play 3 yards in the cloud that does so well. But at some point, you got to make Indianapolis feel it too.
Well, and two, you have to be able to run the football more effectively and block heavy boxes in order to do that.
Yeah.
And this offensive line has not shown that ability this season. So it's not an either or either. To my point about, the best pathway to beating the Colts maybe isn't what's best for Cam. The Titans also haven't shown the ability to do that either. So it's not totally just, hey, do one or the other.
That's so true.
I did think this was interesting. Cam Ward talking yesterday to the media was asked, have you gotten better at taking the underneath options? And Cam had this to say.
I think I got better at it every week. It also comes in to the coverage versus the play. And even sometimes, we have the perfect play call for the coverage, but, the defense might not give us that throw. So I think that's where I've grown at, is just not holding on to it, for a certain amount of time in regards of even if they're giving me the good shot, if I have to check down right now, just take it, just to keep the chains moving.
And then if you look at the touchdown to Chim, it looked like they kind of had the defense spinning a little bit. They gave you a different look post snap. How do you, are things starting to slow down for you to recognize something like that and be able to make a play in that situation?
It's slowed down since, I would say, at least probably halfway through game one. I see the coverage every play. I think the biggest thing is I have to connect with the receivers. I have to throw them, catch with footballs, and then we also got to just make plays from a hole. We haven't done that consistently. I think that's the biggest thing we're trying to accomplish.
It's Cam Ward speaking to the media yesterday. I think in a lot of ways, Ramon, you're waiting for Cam to still make progress and do things he hasn't done yet. That's what you're really doing. It's not time yet to scrap the plan and, in my opinion, totally change this offense just to get through any given Sunday.
Right.
The development of Cam Ward is still what's most important for this team, and putting him in positions to make simpler reads. I'm going to read a Dan Graziano piece at ESPN.com coming up in 10 minutes about he's making things harder than they need to be. There is still a period of acclimation that this coaching staff understands with Cam, that we've got to keep giving him a lot of the same things, even if he's not succeeding with them, with the hope that it's going to click. He's going to get it. It's not like an older quarterback to where if he's not mastering certain concepts, all right, well, let's get different concepts out there for him. It's not time to throw out the plan yet in terms of what they want Cam to be as a rookie in the National Football League.
You know what's the worst part about that, though, too? The simplicity of doing that is what he needs. But after the ball leaves his hand, who's making the complex tackles? I mean, breaking tackles.
Right.
Who's making the catches? I turned on that tape from 2019, my last year with the Steelers, to watch Devlin Hodges. in a similar situation where a guy doesn't have the entirety of the playbook, there were guys breaking tackles in the flats. There were guys beating the defenders over the top of the defense.
Well, that's why they beat Arizona.
Chickaconquo
made guys miss on checkdowns.
Yeah.
Calvin Ridley got open on vertical routes and just made a play. Like, at some point, again, football becomes really simple.
It does.
Can you make plays against the opponent and the guy that's guarding you?
A 5-yard slant for a 50-yard touchdown.
Yep.
Like, who do you trust? Like, is that scheme in? Like, is that route in to where you can trust at this point Chim DK to break in and beat the entire defense if they're playing too high and you split 100%. It down the middle? Like, there is that part of it too, because as many defensive players right now that are listed out, and these are game records that you need in these games, need to win football games, that's where it becomes super problematic. That, to me, with the expectation that the simplifying it for him, and this does still have to be that way for Cam Ward.
Yeah.
But guys got to be dynamic. Like, either the most frustrating part, and I heard there's a promo of us talking about the offensive line that's playing on our station now. And
is it a little outdated?
But it speaks about them being stepbrothers, like how everybody's together. You know what I'm saying? That they brought in, and I'm thinking to myself, it was a training camp conversation. The expectations that we had for this offensive line to progress and protect Cam, and if at the end of the day, if nothing worked, you can rely on them to move the line of scrimmage.
You could have a foundation, right?
That part of it right there is damning to this entire team.
Hasn't happened.
It has not happened, and having seen what the veteran side of this league is, like, these guys have all played. The expectations should be high, especially when you got a rookie. Like, there was a sense of pride to protect a guy like him because his development is also on your shoulders too. And I'm speaking directly to the OL on this one.
Let's go to Dylan in Nashville, 615-737-1045. What's up, Dylan?
Hey, guys. Good morning.
Morning.
I just wanted to talk to y'all real quickly. Last year, I talked to Coach Mack about moving JC from LT to RT, gave him my reasoning. So I just kind of wanted to give you guys my reasoning for a potential position change for him again. And Ramon, I think it'd be best to talk on this because, moving a first-round pick 3 different times, 3 different positions, I don't know if that's ever been done before, but moving JC from right tackle to right guard, him in a phone booth is absolutely scary. He locks onto his defenders, but him in space, he's a little bit heavy-footed, kind of gets beat on the inside a bit too much. How much of that is his actual hip? And I'm sorry, guys, I just got like Isaiah Wilson PTSD. So we invested too much in this offensive line, man. 2 first-round picks and 3 at the time marquee signings on the offensive line for it to look like this. But, you know, with all the new change, with all the rookies, getting some new attempts, getting some more playing time, just wondered why not toss JC out there, see what could happen. I'll hang up and listen, guys. I appreciate y'all.
Thank you, Dylan. Ramon?
There's only one other player has recently done it. That's Mekhi Becton. He was left tackle in 2020 for the New York Jets. Then he ended up going to tackle. He's played right tackle for the Jets also. Mm-hmm. And then he was right guard for Philadelphia. I hate to put that label on him because I don't know what his development is going to look like.
It's too soon.
I don't know if it's the hip, to your point.
Too soon.
But then the other part is, are you drafting another high-caliber tackle or are you bringing in one in free agency?
It is way too soon to move J.C. Latham to guard. I'll say it. He's played 2 games healthy this year.
That's
and
tough.
We don't even know if he's healthy right now.
Yeah.
You can't keep moving everyone around and expect any kind of chemistry or any kind of foundation to be built.
Yeah.
You just can't.
Yeah.
Ramon was adamant, and we've talked about this in the draft process, that you thought J.C. Latham looked like a really good guard.
Yep.
But that ship has sailed for right now.
It did.
If J.C. Latham gets moved again, I think it's happening in the middle or late in 2026. Like, he still needs another offseason at right tackle because the more you keep moving somebody around, the less comfortable they're ever going to get at any position. Let's try him at center. Like, I'm not trying to like roast the call, Dylan, but like, I understand why you're saying that because from a football perspective, it makes sense given his skill set, but he's never going to get comfortable playing any position if you don't give him time to learn and grow and develop.
Here's the thing. Like, I don't know if his feet are heavy or if he's hurt. Dylan, to your point. But here's the other part of it in defense. Like, if this does happen, it'll happen, I think, to your next offseason.
Yes. It's not going to happen midseason. He's played 2 games at right tackle.
Guard is a
2 full games.
It's a hard position to learn. It's a hard adjustment from tackle.
He's never done it.
To guard.
He's always been a tackle.
I'll put it this way. Unless he's in a position where it's career defining for him, and it could be soon, depending on what the offensive line coach says to him, the new one that comes in. But, I don't think mentally he's going to be ready to wrap his mind around that either.
Yep.
It took me a while to say, guard? No. I don't want to play guard. So I can imagine a player like him who's a top 10 pick, and he understands what the pay is, too, from guard to tackle.
To your point, offensive linemen always make jumps in year 3 if they are good.
That's true.
It's not year 3 yet for him. And I know you got to be really patient in order to get there, but look at the jump that Peter Skronsky's making this year. Been really solid. Been the Titans' best offensive lineman by far.
He's also played just one position, left guard.
Bingo. I think the Titans' pathway to answer the original question of making this game interesting, I still think there are vulnerabilities in the Colts secondary. I think the Colts on a per-play basis have been solid, or a per-play basis have not been as solid as what their total stats suggest because their offense is so good that it's putting them in predictable situations to rush the passer, stop the run. They've seen the least amount of rushing attempts this season, Indianapolis, because they've had so many leads. If you could just make this a game in the second half and not put yourself in a position where you have to throw and abandon the run because you're down multiple possessions again early in the football game, give yourself the full disposal of your playbook and see what happens and see if Cam can get comfortable and get hot a little bit. That's your pathway to making things interesting against Indianapolis. Coming up, Dan Graziano of ESPN.com revealed some insider nuggets about what the Titans think behind closed doors about Cam Ward that we'll read for you coming up next. What's up? Will Bowling here talking about my new obsession, Daisy French onion dip. Yeah, if you've been listening to the show, you know how much I love this stuff. It is my guilty pleasure during football season, eating dips with chips, wings, veggies while watching the big game. Now Daisy has come out with this delicious French onion dip and ranch dip. They're a total game changer. As delicious as a homemade dip, plus they're made with real herbs and spices and other ingredients you'd find in your own kitchen. Make sure you try some. Good news is it is available all around you in Middle Tennessee. Check it out. Daisy French Onion Dip, Daisy Ranch Dip at a grocery store near you. Thursday morning on 104.5 The Zone always begins on Ramon and Will, fueled by Scooter's Coffee. Coming up, Mike McCoy had some very direct advice for Cam Ward. You're going to hear in 15 minutes. We'll start hour 2 with that. Your phone calls in the meantime, 615-737-1045. So Dan Graziano of ESPN.com, Ramon, had some what we're hearing nuggets yesterday, including some about Cam Ward and the Tennessee Titans. Says the Titans are not panicking about Cam Ward's struggles through 7 games, but they need more from him. Ward has shown the ability to pull off difficult throws. He'll squeeze the ball in just about any window. Ward looks for those throws because that fearless nature got him this far, so there is a conviction that comes with that. Here's, I think, the part that's most interesting. Dan Graziano of ESPN.com. Where the Titans are working with Ward is taking the layups when they are there. He's making the game harder than it has to be in some cases. Just because he can make a throw doesn't mean he should bypass the easy yards available elsewhere. Also, some of the Titans feel Ward is at his best when he can play faster, sometimes going no huddle, making him less robotic. That requires the ability to spread things out with skill players. But the skill positions are problematic for Tennessee, Dan Graziano says. That also requires, getting a first down or two. All of this is making for a long season for Ward. The talent and work ethic are undeniable, which should lead to good things. But he's also on pace to throw 10 touchdown passes over 17 games. It's tough to have success that way. Dan Graziano of ESPN.com. Ramon, is it in the best interest of the Titans for them to adapt to Cam Ward and his skill set of simple, no huddle, less robotic? Or is it in the best interest of the Titans for Cam Ward to kind of become more robotic?
It's in his best interest to become more robotic. He's got to get a foundation because here's the thing about, I said it earlier in this week, it's bad for quarterbacks to work in chaos. It's bad for an offense to be chaotic also. It's bad for the wide receivers. It's bad for the offensive line. It's bad for everybody when there's chaos. And I don't mean, like it's just bad and they're just throwing the ball up in the air, but if we don't have a set standard in how he drops back into the pocket, he can manipulate it from time to time. But if you're telling me that, he's more willing to roll out of the pocket, well, that creates anxiety for the big boys up front when it comes down to blocking them. If he's a guy that wants to roll out of the pocket and throw across his body, that's also problematic for the wide receivers. Do I sit down or do I continue to run in these moments? I think some of those mishaps and overthrows and throws behind him have been that type of communication. The wide receivers are continuing on, and Cam is thinking, hey, sit down right here. Well, we don't have that method of working just yet. As Graziano said, it's tough to advance your career when you're also not having any success. And they got to find what's a successful method in which this offense can operate. And through 7 games so far, they haven't. And that's why we're still having these questions. That's why the frustration is still there now because, in my personal opinion, a baseline was never established at all.
It's still in process of being established, of a baseline of the bread and butter of what the Tennessee Titans are on offense.
Think about Bo Nix last year, right, with Sean Payton. He was having 100 yards a game, 120. He was doing nothing. It was relying on the defense, handing the football off. He wasn't allowing him to do anything. And I think that's the strategy in which Brian Callahan should have been a little bit more forceful about. I look at 2 quarterbacks and how he's been with their start of the season. That's Will Levis. Will Levis has a cannon of an arm. What did they open up that 2024 season doing? Throwing down the field, trying to make it as if he was making plays. Now, Will Levis also contributed to the flubs that he's had by throwing interceptions and turning the football over. Nobody told him to do a flip 6. But the plan was to let Will Levis cook. This year, I feel like it was let Cam cook, and we're going to roll him and try to manipulate the pocket and stuff like that. If there was anything that got Coach Brian Callahan fired, it was that to me. Is you as a leader, as a head coach, as a play caller, have to have your toolbox of, hey, this is what we're going to start with. I don't know if he ever got to the point of saying this is what we're going to start with before allowing Cam to do more. I will say I do think in the spring and earlier parts of training camp, we saw him. Remember, it was dinking and dunking, just getting the ball out of his hand. Where did that go? Where was the pressure to change that part of the game? Because he cooked.
Yeah. Well, and I think the area they really need Cam to be more robotic is in his technique and in his delivery of the football. I think more so than even the decisions he's making, having a repeatable delivery that allows the ball to get to the target accurately, more consistently is important. I thought Easton Freeze asked Mike McCoy a really good question about that yesterday, talking about the mechanics and the build-up to inaccurate passes. Because, Ramon, there are some quarterbacks that are just innately inaccurate.
Yeah.
Like Josh Allen, for a lot of his time at Wyoming and early in his career in Buffalo, was just inaccurate. He was not good at delivering the football where it needed to be. But there are other quarterbacks whose mechanics break down in critical moments where they are throwing inaccurate passes. I don't believe that Cam Ward is an inaccurate quarterback. Cam Ward has shown the ability to pinpoint a spot and throw through really tight windows when the mechanics are right. Those are two different things, right? I thought Easton really worded that well on social media yesterday and in his question to Mike McCoy, being like, no, I don't think Cam Ward is inaccurate. I think his footwork and mechanics are breaking down so much that he's throwing inaccurate passes because of the buildup to the pass itself. It's not that the pass itself is just off target. He's doing a lot of other things that make the pass be off target. Is that fair to say those are kind of two different things?
The hearing you explain it kind of blended it to me a little bit. Yeah,
fair enough.
It did, because that's one thing. If we listen to Coach Mike McCoy, he said since last week is he's been preaching feet.
Here's what I mean, and maybe I'm explaining this.
Let me hear you through on this.
Is like there are quarterbacks that with a stable pocket and good footwork just can't put the ball where it needs to be.
Tebow.
Yeah. Nico Imaliava.
Okay.
At Tennessee. Everything would be right. He'd be in the pocket, stable platform, balls too far.
The feel for him ain't there.
Right.
Okay.
Cam Ward, when everything is right and he's in the pocket and can step into a throw, is an accurate passer, right? Mm-hmm. But then when Cam Ward steps to the right instead of forward, when Cam tries to sidearm, when Cam is rolling out of the pocket and tries to do too much and his mechanics break down, that's more what I'm talking about. I'm talking about when Cam goes off the normal platform in the normal stable pocket, three-step.
Yeah. He can deliver the fastball.
He can deliver, right. Yeah. He can deliver in the pocket, but then when he tries to do too much and he's stepping to the side and just trying to use all arm strength and shoulder the ball forward instead of stepping into the throw with proper mechanics, then it becomes an inaccurate pass.
Yeah.
I think those are two different things and two different problems.
Well, that's something that, I mean, if they saw it clearly on tape or in training camp, you question, did anybody want to correct that soon? You just figured it'd be okay.
They've tried. I think it's one thing to correct something in training camp. It's another when the live bullets start flying and your worst habits start coming out.
You go back to that old thing.
That's why it just takes time.
He needs an off season.
The challenge for the Titans, again, they have got to do one of two things. They've either got to totally lean in on what makes Cam, or Cam's got to become a little bit more boring and a little bit more robotic. And either way, an adjustment has to be made because this middle ground right now, again, as Dan Graziano writes at ESPN.com, has Cam on schedule for 10 touchdown passes over 17 games.
You know what I tell my young athletes whenever we're training? Boring is good. Being boring is good. A simple block. When it's boring, I mean, you've done it right.
The other question is, do the Titans have the playmakers at the skill positions to succeed being boring? Which is a whole separate conversation.
No.
615-737-1045 is our number. Mike McCoy with very direct advice for Cam Ward that you'll hear next.
Ooh. Smashville hockey. Around here, it can sound like a language of its own. But hey, if you can pronounce Demumbrian, then names like Yossi, Shea, and Marchessault will roll right off the tongue. Nashville Predators, only in Smashville.
7:01, good morning, live from the 104.5 The Zone Studios. I'm Justin Hawkins. The Tennessee Titans return to the practice field on Wednesday as they get ready for their second matchup of the season with the Indianapolis Colts, this time on the road. A loaded injury report yesterday highlighted by Jeffrey Simmons, L'Jarius Sneed, Calvin Ridley, Bryce Oliver, and Arden Key, all listed as did not practice participants. Interim head coach Mike McCoy announced yesterday that L'Jarius Sneed will miss some time with a quad injury. Meanwhile, Jeffrey Simmons is week to week with a hamstring injury. Another NFL news, Ravens quarterback Lamar Jackson returned to practice yesterday for the first time since injuring his hamstring in week 4, but head coach John Harbaugh did not say whether Jackson will play this week against the Chicago Bears. Big news for the Tennessee Vols baseball program yesterday as head coach Tony Vitello is finalizing a deal to become the next manager of the San Francisco Giants. Vitello becomes the first ever to jump from college coach to MLB manager without any professional experience. Frank Anderson was named the interim head coach for the time being, and Josh Elander is a candidate to be the next coach as Danny White will hold a nationwide search. And in the NBA last night, the Memphis Grizzlies are off to a solid 1-0 start to the season as they beat the New Orleans Pelicans 128-122. Point guard Ja Morant had a game-high 35 points in the win. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you got to go to USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Ramona Will, 104.5 The Zone, into hour 2 on this Thursday morning edition. Hope you're having a good start to your Thursday. There was a 4 again next to the temperature when I woke up this morning. So windbreaker season, hoodie season if you're Ramon Foster, or crew neck season. I know a sweater hates to see Ramon come.
Well, I'm talking about, listen, you send me an email,
hates
Balt.
That's absolutely right.
Balt.
Absolutely right. 615-737-1045 is the number. Stream the show live at 1045 The Zone TV, Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitter, or Twitch. I thought this was a very direct answer. I thought a very illuminating answer from Tennessee Titans interim head coach Mike McCoy speaking with the media yesterday, Ramon. Advice for Cam Ward. And out of a really good question from ESPN's Teron Davenport, who asked about Cam Ward's freedom to make changes within the context of the touchdown throw to Chimere Dike. There was an idea from Cam after the game where he said, I almost checked out of that play. And I said, well, I didn't. Mike McCoy also yesterday said, I'm really glad he didn't. And so the question from TD was like, what's that balance between him getting in looks he's comfortable with, but also can you make too many changes? And Mike McCoy answered with this.
You know, I think freedom to check at the line of scrimmage comes with experience. And there's certain times where, like in certain game plan, I'll say certain game plan, there's more of it. There's certain looks that were in teams, I don't want to say too much because I don't want to give too much away here, but there are teams that do certain things, like if you see this, get to this. Like alerts. Yeah, a number of things. Or if he just checks a play on his own. And he's done that in the past. But it's like the big thing that I want with Cam is trust the system. Okay? Trust the system. We ran a play in Carolina years ago when I was a lot younger. We ran the same play 5 plays in a row. And all the players were wondering, why, Dan Henning, why would you call it 5 plays? Well, because the quarterback knows where to go with the ball. They didn't stop it the first time, so keep running it. And we threw a touchdown pass the 5th time on the 5th play, and the rest is history. But it's like the quarterback's job is to take advantage of what the defense is given. If it's a bad play, throw the ball away, whatever that is. So you want them to do that at certain times, but number one, trust the system. And then we will coach you through things through a game plan. But I don't ever want to take it away from him, say he can't do it, because if there's something that comes up, I want him to get to it. And that's part of coaching, and that's part of the growth of a quarterback at this level. Because he's done it a couple of times before, and it's been phenomenal. But I don't, you don't want to do too much of it. But he always has that in his hip pocket.
It's Titans interim head coach Mike McCoy speaking yesterday. I think that's really interesting.
It is. It's kind of telling of what he wants. Mike McCoy for Cam, too. He started it off, said freedom comes with the experience. You get that freedom when you get the experience. I think that's been one of Cam's biggest issues that he's had. and trying to develop himself as a young quarterback this season, too, is the experience of seeing everything, the experience of situationally knowing how, as Coach McCoy said, getting in and out of bad looks, sticking with plays, not sticking with plays. Like, it is – this is a beautiful game that people like to make it complex, but it's so simple. It is. Mike McCoy talking about running 5 plays in a row, the exact same play.
Did you ever do something like that?
Absolutely. And we would tell the guys across from us, because we were so confident in blocking it, the ball's coming right here.
Must be nice.
Like, one of them would be like a run play, 22 double. Like, we're going to run, it's a non-pulling gap scheme play that we will have. We run it 5-6 times in a row. We close out football games with it. It was one time we ran 37 counter 3 times in a row. And it got to the point to where the safety came down into the box, got tired of blocking, and he cut the guard. Like, we'd run 50 protection 6 times in a row because, one, the quarterback knows where his hots are. It's empty protection. He knows that his wide receivers where the wins are going to be. And that's one thing I will say Cam doesn't have just yet. It's 2 things he doesn't have when we're talking about those type of situations in protection. One, the full understanding of what defenses are going to do to attack him. Was a few things. Security of his pocket. Then also, can his wide receivers win? These are things I will also say, like a rebuild, and we've been talking about this all word for it, 4 years almost now at this point. You don't recognize the progress being made in a rebuild. I do feel like with every change that they've made, you reset the rebuild.
Yep.
I heard Blaine, man, give a great answer yesterday. And he was just like, I don't want to put words in Blaine's mouth. But the way I heard him say this was, I'm tired of talking about what GM likes this player, and does this player fits what this GM want? Does this player fit what this coach want? Does this player appease to the quarterback and how he should be as a football player? And Blaine essentially said, that ain't the National Football League. You get a pot of players, and in those players, you make the best that you possibly can with those guys. Screw if this is the last GM's player. I don't care if it's a GM's player from 2 years or 2 terms ago. Can you coach this player up? Can he make plays for you? And that, to me, I think is the biggest detriment to this Tennessee Titans organization in the last at least 3 years, is you're trying to find what players are committed to which GM that fits in whatever scheme. I know I wasn't a Munchak guy. I'll even say this out loud. I wasn't a Ty Haley guy. Like, we only pulled one side, but you know what I did? I maximized my strengths. They also played to my strengths and used another guy's strengths to make the offense work. Ben and Ty Haley weren't the greatest of friends. It's documented. But Ty Haley knew that Ben could make plays. Roethlisberger could make plays, so he kissed the ring on crafting an offense for him, the player. I thought that was one of the most telling things I've ever heard Blaine say on their station, on their show, was like, we got to get past eras and focus on, like, the product. And I think that's kind of where Cam is with his wide receivers. And what Mike McCoy is trying to get Cam to understand is the more you learn, the more you get. And he ain't there yet.
Let's go back to the phone, 615-737-1045. Kevin is up next. What's up, Kevin?
Hey, good morning.
Morning.
I've heard a lot of criticism about Cam Ward. And I'll be honest with you, I'm a Bills fan. But I do think he's a pretty good quarterback, and I think people should give him a break. He's a rookie. He's playing behind a terrible offensive line. The team itself isn't doing well. The coach just got fired. I mean, it's not like he can throw the ball to himself. You know, he's going to have some growing pains, and I think we just got to be a little patient and build a team around him. You know, a couple of years, I think he's going to be okay.
Thank you, Kevin. Appreciate the call.
Appreciate it, Kev.
Thank you, sir. Reasonable.
These 2 years are just going to – they're going to be hard, though. It's the way this process seems. And that's the part of it to where you, I guess, as quick as change has been made here in the last few years, you feel like another one's going to make it better quicker. And I don't think that's just going to be the case. It is going to be it's learning for him.
I'm not surprised the Bills fan of all other fan bases is the one calling in with that. Because, again, I looked back at Josh Allen's rookie season stats. And Josh Allen, we talked about how Cam Ward was on pace for 10 touchdown passes this season. Josh Allen had 10 touchdown passes his rookie season. He completed 53% of his passes for 2,000 yards, 10 touchdowns, 12 picks. Quarterback rating of 67.9. And he wasn't really fixed until year 3.
Yeah.
Because year 2, Josh Allen, they went 10-6, but he completed 59% of his passes for 20 touchdowns, 9 picks, and an 85 quarterback rating. Now, Josh Allen's don't come around very much.
Right.
Josh Allen was inaccurate and fixed it, and that's not normal to be able to do that, but I'm not surprised that if any other, other fan base is calling in to represent that statement, then there you go. And again, we get comments like Malik Willis wished he got more than 3 games. Yeah, Malik Willis is the number 1 overall pick.
Was Malik a third?
Malik Willis was a 3rd-round pick. Of course, he doesn't get as much time to prove it. Like, we are not switching up. There's this idea. We get these comments all the time of like, wish y'all were y'all just Vols fans who hate Will Levis. Why didn't you give him this much time? He wasn't the number 1 overall pick. He didn't earn that patience. Cam Ward's college career and entire college tenure earned him the benefit of the doubt that he gets more time. It's just truly that simple. There's nothing else we need to say about it.
You want to hear what's even crazier about that statement, Will? It ain't us that made the decision.
Well, that's also true.
It was the Tennessee Titans front office. So it's the Tennessee Titans front office that are anti-Kentucky. Shout out to them because it's Kentucky Hate Week.
Yeah.
But legitimately, it wasn't us, the radio hosts, that made the decision to say Will Levis wasn't it. One, I said this before, but like Will Levis' career, like, and how he played, whether it was Callahan in the offense or whether it was him and his decision making, like that product is out there. That tape is a part of your history as a Tennessee Titans fan, and it was embarrassing for him, I'm sure, and embarrassing for the franchise. So any opportunity that you could get where Jeff's not playing in the last game of the season and you got an opportunity to get the number 1 overall pick and he's a quarterback that's set the world on fire in college, and there's no 5th-year option or attachment to Will Levis, you make that change.
And when he puts you in position to get someone who has a higher ceiling, you take the guy with that higher ceiling and you build around him.
Yeah, you do.
Again, Cam Ward was playing the wing T offense not that long ago. He needs time.
Right.
He needs time. We came into the season saying that.
Yeah.
That regardless of how good or bad it looked, he needs a lot of time. The clock does not start on Cam Ward probably until 2027. And we have been consistent on that since before the season started.
If you want to talk about feelings being hurt in a situation that was very over the top, imagine how Kirk Cousins felt whenever they went out and got what's his name?
Take your pick.
Yeah.
Of any quarterback that went out and was acquired to replace Kirk.
Exactly. Michael Penix Jr. Like Atlanta gave Kirk Cousins $100 million guaranteed, whatever his number was, and they went and drafted Michael Penix Jr. That was probably the biggest shocker of last year's draft class, was him being picked that high and with Kirk Cousins there. This is just the industry. This is the business, man. Either we had a joke. The train don't stop. You can jump on while it's rolling, but it will never stop for any player in any era.
Yeah. Coming up, Coach Dave McGinnis previews Titans and Colts with us next. Ramona Will, fueled by Scooters Coffee on 104.5 The Zone in hour 2 on this Thursday morning. And, of course, this music means it is time to talk Titans with Titans Radio's head coach. Coach Mack joins us, presented by Two Rivers Ford, the South's most trusted Ford dealer. Mack, how we doing? Good morning.
Good. I'm doing good, Will. Ramon, how you guys this morning?
Matt.
We're good. I brought my oxygen mask, Mac, for Indy. Looking forward to being up in the clouds. I'm sure you guys are this weekend for Titans and Colts.
Yeah, well, that's where we're going to be. That thing is, especially with all of these, and this isn't a new stadium, but the newer these stadiums get, it seems to me like the elevation of the booth just gets higher and higher because they use all that other really nice space that's down there at eye level for suites. So we are up high. I know that.
Love it. Well, Mac, looking at this Colts team, it's incredible how good this offense has been, and the leading scoring offense in the NFL with over 30 points per game. How's Daniel Jones doing it? What stands out to you when you watch the film on this Colts offense and what he's doing well?
Well, I don't know what we just saw Drake May do. I mean, they're very similar. I spend all of my time just grinding tape. That's all. That's what I do. And I've got other people that run all these alphabet numbers for me. But what I look at the tape, and what my eyes tell me. Then they match up with the numbers because the numbers, there's so much that people dig into numbers at this day and age, and it's good. But I watch the tape, and it's a very efficient offense. It's just like this offense that the Titans played last week. They don't beat themselves, and they do a lot of really good job of winning on first and second down. They're very seldom behind the chains. And now, I mean, you're looking at a quarterback in Daniel Jones that you think about his career. Started off hot. I mean, he was Danny Dimes. Then he became Danny Not Real Good, and then they got rid of him. But time on task with anybody in this league, any position in this league, if you really want to be honest, is really what the whole key is. But especially at the quarterback position, and then they've surrounded him with some really good people. That you start looking at the weapons that he has and what he's utilizing. I mean, you got a tight end and a receiver that are catching 7 out of every 10 throws that he throws to them. They're just very, very efficient, and so I mean they deserve to be number one because you look at the tape, you don't see them beating themselves and you don't see them turning the ball over. That's huge.
Mac, it's interesting with Shane Steichen, just the scheme and the way he's set up Daniel Jones for success. What impresses you about the way he is getting guys open within this offense?
Well, the first thing is the run game. You've got to be very concerned about the run game because they've got a back that is as good as there is as far as about making people miss. He's as good as there is as running through contact, and this is a back that if he gets past the second level, he's going to outrun every secondary that there is. I mean, that's just the way that this guy plays, and he's right now, and he hit a little bit of a lull in his career, but this year he's on top of his game. So, and even with the fact that they have two new offensive linemen in there, I mean, with the tight ends that they have, their run game is excellent. It's an excellent, excellent run game. That helps the quarterback immensely because that opens up parts of the field because this is what I said earlier. I mean, you guys watch the tape. They make defenses play on their left foot most of the time this season, and it just bears itself out because they win on first and second down, and so most defenses are in a 50-50 strut every time the ball is snapped. They're not behind the chains. It all adds together. It's not just one position. It's all the positions are clicking.
Coach Mack with us this morning talking a little Titans and Colts. Matt, we've been having this conversation about just the quarterback position and specifically Cam and, the difference in how Daniel Jones looks this year. I have to ask you as a coach, man, when you look at how you're going to craft an offense, it starts off simple, Coach Mack. Why is simple good in the NFL? Because I feel like we overcomplicate this process of, hey, these guys are making dynamic catches and amazing throws, but Mack, at the crux of this things, it's very simple. Why is that so important?
Well, it's extremely important. I mean, and simplicity doesn't mean it's easy. Simplicity means it's efficient. I mean, the best football teams I've ever been on, we did a few things, but we did it really, really well. And the reason you did it really well is the players understood it. But it also takes time on task from everybody involved to get it done. There's a maturation process that goes on in playing in the National Football League that, the general public just doesn't want to hear about, because you want instant success. I mean, you want to drop the bread in the toaster and 12 seconds later it's done. That's not the way this league works. And sometimes it's painful, when you're going through that with a greater number of young players, which is what the Titans are going through. I mean, but the simplicity is not a bad term. Simplicity means you are efficient with what you are doing, and that's extremely important. There is no magic formula. The magic formula is being able to perform what you are asked to perform, but also being comfortable doing it, and that comes with time on task. And it's hard to preach that because there's nothing that is digestible that's fun about losing ball games in this league. It's very, very distasteful, and it's very, very painful. But sometimes that's what you go through.
It is. It can be painful this weekend if guys don't pick up DeForest Buckner. We had, I think, was it 1 or 2 sacks last week, Coach Mack? He and Grover Stewart up the middle are some game wreckers. What do you see from them whenever you watch their tape, Coach Mack, specifically?
Yeah, and Ramon, that's true, but they're not having to carry the load like they have in the past.
That's true.
In the past, they're playing well. But here's the other thing: you start talking about when you start running numbers. They through 7 games, and they're the number 1 offense in the league. They've got a 13-point differential on average throughout games. When you have that, I've done it. You can call defenses differently, and you've got a little bit more freedom to play defensively because your feet aren't on the edge of a cliff all the time with every snap. And so, as well as I do, when you've got score separation, there's a lot of things that you can do differently, both as an offense and a defense. That's what I'm seeing out of this. Look, DeForest Buckner, Grover Stewart, they are beasts up in the middle. But this whole defense is really benefiting from. We just started this conversation off asking about why this offense was so efficient, because they score points. They don't put the defense in a bad situation when they go out on the field. And through 7 games, if you've got a 13-point differential on average, that's a huge plus. I'd love to call defenses with that.
Coach Mack with us, presented by our friends at Two Rivers Ford. Mack, talking to Chim DK yesterday, it feels like this is a big opportunity for him with Tyler Lockett no longer a member of this wide receiver room to build on last week and to step up into a more prominent role. How have the Titans started to use Chim more, and what impressed you about his performance this past Sunday? One of the best first quarters that a Titans rookie receiver has had in a couple of decades.
Yeah, well, he just got to continue to build on consistency. I mean, what you don't want. I mean, first of all, he earned the chance to do this. I mean, he was already getting ready to pass up, Tyler Lockett on because of his youth and his speed. I mean, that's just the way this league works. But what he has done, he's earned the chance to get those looks. I watch practice every day. I mean, his practice reps have increased, but they started to increase when he showed that he was very, very formidable with a ball in his hands with the return game. That's what started it. I mean, you've got to have a guy that you can trust. But this guy's got one thing that you can't coach, and he's got speed. It doesn't. Here's the one thing: experience. If you've got speed, experience helps you get past a lot of things early, and that's what he has. And plus, I mean, the guy's a worker. Now, you don't want to just say, okay, this is what he is, and so he's going to be like that every time. It takes work. And here's the other thing, and both of you guys know this. I mean, Ramon can relate to this too. Once the opponent sees on tape, oh, this guy's a problem, he's going to start getting attention paid to him. That's when you really find out who is digging in and working, is once these guys start to show up, and the opponent starts to take a look at you and starts trying to plan ways to not let you be successful, and you're still successful. That's what your growth is. But I like the path that he's on right now.
Mac, another guy who seems to be earning opportunities on the defense after maybe getting his feet wet in special teams looks like Kevin Winston Jr. and showed up a little bit last week against New England. How can the Titans use him more, Mac? And does it feel like he is starting to come on a little bit, in your opinion?
Well, he's a young player. He's brand new. He's hurt. I mean, he's coming back from injury, and he has to learn to trust the injury first that he had. That was significant coming into this league. But you grind his tape. You start watching his tape coming out. When I was vetting him, you say, okay, this guy's got something special. He's big, he's fast, and he loves to hit people. That is something you look for on defense. And so the more time on task that he gets, the better he's going to be. But I think now he's starting to be a little bit more healthy. It's hard to evaluate guys especially when they're young, if they're coming back from a physical injury. It's hard enough. It's hard enough when you're brand new and you're totally fine figuring out your spot in the National Football League. But when you come in with an injury that you're working through first and you get on there, it just takes time to see it. I mean, we're seeing it a little bit now, and he'll continue to progress. And they'll continue to give him a little bit more responsibility as he continues to stack plays.
Coach Mack, I kind of want to change paths just a little bit because you've been a part of this league. You understand and know this league and this process. And the NFL Hall of Fame, I think, is one of the most prestigious ones. It's hard, Coach Mack, to get into. And I kind of want to ask you about the middle of the football teams, and that's fullback, Coach Mack, and these interior defensive linemen. Lorenzo Neal being in this final 52, and I'm looking at guys like Vince Wilfork and Kevin Williams and Haloti Ngata, Coach Mack, that play crucial parts in legendary offenses or defenses, Coach Mack. When do they open up the door to those types of dudes?
Well, look, football in the National Football League is made up of dudes that are special, that can do the dirty work. Mm-hmm. Offensive linemen, interior defensive linemen, and especially fullbacks. That's a dying breed because, I mean, that was back, when Lowe was playing. That was back when I formation and leads, get a big tailback and start running leads over. You talk about over and over and over again. You knew they were coming. I mean, Lowe Neal, was a fullback. I've coached against fullbacks in my career that, when I cut my teeth coaching linebackers, you start watching tape, linebackers go, oh, man, this is getting ready to be a headache A and B gap game, because, and especially like Lowe Neal. I mean, Lowe Neal was as good at getting on people and running through contact in the A and the B gap, leading Eddie George as anybody that's been around. And he did it, several places. But those types of guys, and you're right, you did it. I mean, you came into the league as a free agent, and you earned a job doing very, very dirty work. Mm-hmm. I'm not talking about illegal work. I'm just talking about grinding work that was very, very physical. Yeah. Very physical. Lowe Neal was the epitome of that. I mean, it was like running into a Ford F-150 bumper when he was coming through there. I promise you.
Yeah, no doubt about it, Coach Mack. It's just when you look at this list and the accomplishments of these guys, they're in somebody's Hall of Fame. Like Eddie George has got to be in Ohio State. I'm looking at these guys like Willie Anderson and Lomas Thomas. It's a very special league, Coach Mack, and I think that's why we get so tight about the teams week to week, the competition of it, and why it's the biggest sport in America at this point, Coach Mack.
Yeah, I think you're talking about Lomas Brown.
Yeah, Lomas Brown. Yeah, Lomas, not Lomas Thomas.
I was on a team. I was with Lowe, in Arizona. We brought Lowe in to help solidify a team that finally went and won a playoff game for them if they hadn't done it. Lowe was first of all as good a dude as you want to be around, but he was a physical talent. Yeah. Man, you talk about a grinder, and Lowe is the nicest human being in the world, but on the field he was not.
No.
He just was. He was not. I mean, and look, it's the elite that play this game at this level. I don't care what people think. If they don't know it from the inside out, if to get to this level, you're in the top 1%. You were in the top 1%. But then when you start going through consideration in the Hall of Fame. That's the 1% of the 1%.
Yeah.
I mean, you start looking at this thing that's pared down to 52 players, and you go, "Oh God, he was good. He's good. They're all good when they get to this level."
That's right.
That's so true.
And then what you do, you pare it down even more. It's a huge, huge honor. I've been involved now with 7 Hall of Famers in my career personally, and have watched them go through this. I've had some that have had to wait forever, like Steve McMichael, God rest his soul, took forever, for him to get that gold jacket. And then I've been with, first ballot Hall of Famers like Mike Singletary. But you've got to go through the process. But the first process you go through is somehow, during a course of an extensive career, you've got to stand out among your peers. That's what all of these guys have done.
Yeah.
Coach Mack, presented by Two Rivers Ford, joins us Thursdays at 7:20 here on the show. Of course, Titans and Colts this weekend from the rafters of Lucas Oil Stadium, where you hear Titans radio on Sunday afternoon. Mac, always appreciate you, sir. Thank you.
Thanks, Matt.
All right, well, look forward to seeing you, Ramon. Good luck in Kentucky.
Yes, sir.
Love
Thanks,
it.
Matt.
Later, Mac.
Tell the rest of the Vols radio group, Coach Mack said what's up.
Well, Coach Mack, real quick, Will's first trip with you to St. Elmo's, is that on the docket? I don't
think St. Elmo's will be on this docket because we've got, first of all, we've got a couple of guys. Taylor and Rhett won't be with us because Rhett's helping the stats crew do the Mississippi State game. And so they'll be coming in later. I'll tell you what, I'll probably say the whole group. In fact, the answer is when we get to the combine, I'll have a whole table full of people.
There we go. There it is.
Love it.
Will will be part of that.
Perfect. Thank you, Mac. Appreciate you, sir.
See you guys.
See you, man.
All right, Coach Mac with us this morning on Ramon and Will.
You get a little congestion. Mess around and clear it up with St. Elmo's.
With some horseradish? Yeah. I know.
You cleared up then, Will.
I have taken more vitamin C in the last month than I probably have in the rest of the last decade combined to try to keep from getting sick. It's preventative maintenance as much as we're traveling this year, which is a new routine, of course. So, no, we're not messing around with any of that stuff.
I'm looking around confused right now. There's been 2 NBA personnel's arrested.
Yeah, some breaking news in the NBA and the FBI getting involved in some sports stuff that we can get you updated on when we come back.
It's Ramon Foster for Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical, man. Best company out there. I just want to throw that out there. One of the best here in the mid-state, man. If you're dealing with a plumbing, HVAC, or an electrical emergency, most of the time you don't know what it will cost you if it'll get fixed correctly, or if they're just trying to sell you something you don't need. But I'll tell you, when you call my people at Hiller, their experts are going to solve your problems quickly. And the price you told is the price that you'll actually pay. There are no hidden fees or surprises when you get your bill. Absolutely not at all, man. They've been in business for over 35 years and are family owned and operated. Their techs are very professional, experienced, and trustworthy. And they're all background and drug screened too. And when they're on the way, best part of their experience right here, you'll receive a photo of the tech, that's a little security, and a link to track them in real time so you're not sitting around wasting any time. The motto is and has always been, happy you'll be or the service is free. If you aren't satisfied with the work they're done or something's a little off, they'll fix it or just simply give you your money back. It's that simple. So for a company that you can trust, go to their website like I do and visit at happyhiller.com. Your chance to get that rare, hard-to-find luxury timepiece is here at Genesis Diamonds this Friday and Saturday. Genesis is hosting an epic pre-owned luxury Rolex event featuring a stunning new selection of these hard-to-find watches, Submariners, Daytona, Sky Dwellers, Pepsi's, Batman's, men's and lady watches, At this event, you can even get the never-worn fresh models that people wait years for. During this event, you can take advantage of the special pricing and up to 60 months zero-interest financing, too. And listen to this. With the purchase of any luxury pre-owned Rolex at this event, Genesis will give you a pair of 4-carat lab-grown diamond stud earrings of the highest quality absolutely free. And if you're already a Rolex owner, bring in your old one to trade or meet Genesis buyers on site to receive top dollar for your Rolex. See the largest selection of luxury pre-owned Rolex watches in the state and take advantage of special financing, or get a pair of beautiful 4-carat lab-grown diamond stud earrings valued at $5,000 absolutely free. It's this Friday and Saturday only, and only at Genesis Diamonds, your home for luxury pre-owned Rolexes. They're located in Green Hills and Cool Springs. See store for details while supplies last.
Ramona Will, 104.5 The Zone, fueled by Scooters Coffee. Wrapping up the first half of your Thursday show. Ramon Foster, Will Bowling, Justin Hawkins, at Ramona Will, where you follow the show on Twitter. So Shams Charania of ESPN put out an hour ago that Miami Heat guard Terry Rozier was arrested early this morning as a part of an FBI sports betting gambling probe. The Eastern District of New York and FBI Director Kash Patel will hold a press conference at 9 a.m. 20 minutes ago, he says now that Portland Trailblazers coach Chauncey Billups has been arrested by the FBI for alleged illegal gambling.
I Yeah.
NBA's got an issue here.
You remember last year they dealt with a player situation like this.
Terry Rozier and Chauncey Billups have the issue more than the NBA, of course.
Well, yeah, but clearly there's a culture of betting on games that they didn't know was here. And imagine this being the case, right? You got a coach and a player right now. Last year was a couple of players that went through this situation. NFL has had its issues too. Sports gambling's everywhere. And players are endorsing it. Former players are endorsing it. So I wonder how they're going to try to get this under wraps, considering you got two prominent guys. These are guys that are known. Terry Rozier and Chauncey Billups, these aren't just, bench players when you look at this type of situation. So I wonder how many bench players are actually doing it too.
It's just the irony and the fact that we're going to probably address this on networks, Ramon, over this week and things like, anchors or play-by-play people and pregame show hosts. Welcome back to the Memphis Grizzlies on the FanDuel Sports Network. By the way, you can get whatever odds, and here's a same-game parlay and all this stuff. By the way, Chauncey Billups got arrested for gambling.
Seriously.
It's everywhere right now. And I think that even like the people that don't bet, with us included, have got to be tired of this just being shoved in their faces all the time. And I know there's a lot of money into it, and there's a lot of ways to fund good things in sports, and it's a massive business, but it's just so easy for players and coaches to be caught up in it. I think people would be stunned if you gave pro athletes and coaches and college athletes and coaches truth serum about whether or not they've placed bets. I think people would be stunned how common it is.
Well, if they could go on to, it's been documented, watching Chicago Bulls gamble on the team plane. Like, they outfit planes for the NBA side of it, but the NFL side of it too. You have a group in the back of the plane shooting dice or playing cards, boo-rays, spades, whatever it could be in those type of settings, right? They're like, gambling is in the fabric of sports.
Just ask Michael Jordan about that.
I mean, even for like when we're growing up, man, play a game, $5. So $5 a shot, or a quarter a shot, or like it's in the fabric of all sports. Even when I bet you can't, and then I bet you can't was I bet you $2. Like, think about how you compete against one another. And that's what's super unique about the sports world being so in the bed with it is we grew up, man, I play you for $5. Or if we beat y'all got to buy us dinner. Yeah. Like, this is what, I ain't going to say this is what we do. Like, the illegal gambling side of it, where you got a sports book, DraftKings, whoever the case may be. Like, right. But if you're telling me if I can go to Amazon and buy a T-shirt with my phone, right, it's that much easier for me to place a bet with my phone too? And I got unlimited resources. It gets that mojo going of me betting on something. Like, we had a player in Pittsburgh, man, that got banned from a casino. Like, he go in and hit him for like $30,000.
Right. I mean,
then he also lose 40.
And I think especially too when you have competitive people that are competing with themselves and competing with their teammates on the ability to make more.
Yeah.
And it's always more.
Yeah.
Like, you combine alpha personalities in competitive environments with
expendable money,
with nice lifestyles, and right, the ability to throw away $1,000 and not know that it's gone, and that's when things start to get interesting. I'm reading more about this story. This stuff is actually even crazier than I thought. How about this from ABC News? Portland Trailblazers coach Chauncey Billups charged in illegal poker operation tied to mafia. The mafia. So this is beyond just betting on sports stuff. So this is a different kind of thing.
So he's setting up games. Well, this is also what Gilbert Arenas got arrested for recently too.
So right, yeah. It says Portland Trailblazers. Just to read the story real quick to give context, Trailblazers coach Chauncey Billups has been charged in an illegal poker operation tied to the mafia. Law enforcement sources told ABC News he was arrested in Oregon, where he is expected to make an initial court appearance on Thursday. He coached last night for the Trailblazers' loss to the Minnesota Timberwolves. Terry Rozier is also charged in a separate but related illegal gambling case. He is among 6 people charged Thursday with turning professional basketball into a criminal gambling operation. by using inside information to place unlawful wagers, law enforcement sources told ABC News.
Okay, now that's line stepping right there.
So it seems like different circumstances, but Chauncey Billups involved with the mafia?
Well, here's
in this economy?
I'll break this down to you too. It's probably him having a host house and a big stakes game, which those happen here in Nashville, I'm sure. And all it is you can't come in unless you got $250,000. Well, who's the type of people who got $250,000 that don't want to go to a casino and pay the fees, or they probably can't go or want to be seen? It's people from that world. Like, I don't know if Chauncey knew that these people were from that world, because more times than not, a lot of these people just walk the earth and live the same lifestyles that you do. And you don't really, it doesn't really register you. Heck, somebody or your homeboy tell you, man, yeah, he owns a hotel, or, hey, man, yeah, he owns that car dealership, or, man, he owns a couple restaurants, not understanding how that's being funded. So I'll give him grace on that side of it, because you never know who you're, having conversations with, but it's the taxation of it, and now he's also involved with it, so everything's above board. Huh. Yeah. That's the same thing they got Gilbert Arenas for a few months back over the summer. I think his was Israeli something, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, he has some heavy people in the card games with him.
Goodness.
Tough.
Well, that's not something I had on my bingo card this morning.
I mentioned, like, the first one, I was like, oh, man, Terry Rozier got sports gambling. And then when I saw the second one come through, I'm just like, hold up, there's somebody else behind this, too.
Yeah, right.
Somebody else is about to get hit. It just ain't woke up yet to it.
Yeah, right. Goodness.
And they just started off. The NBA's had the best promo, I feel like, in marketing.
Yeah, their new media
had.
Rights deal looks great.
Man, the game between OKC and Houston with Kevin Durant.
Great first game of the season.
Double overtime.
Right.
It's there. Oh, my God.
It feels like the NBA's got a good moment of young stars that are on non-traditional teams that are going to make more of the country interested in the sport, because there's not a Warriors.
Yep.
There's not a super team out there that's dominating. It feels like you've got a lot of a younger generation of pro basketball players that are making the league more interesting from a parity perspective. This is not what they need to overshadow a lot of the good in a kind of a new era of the NBA.
Yeah, Silver got to get ahead of this one, like, now.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. Never a dull moment. How about that? Chauncey Billups, illegal gambling poker operation related to the mafia. Crazy.
Jeez.
Look, we talk about gambling a lot. We're going to do Thursday 3 at 9:20, by the way. We're going to do Against the Spread picks.
No.
We always give the disclaimer, too, that Ramon and I are not betting our money on this, considering the jobs that we have and NFL teams and NFL things. Ramon's important, and college team, obviously, that you broadcast for, and that I broadcast for as well in a smaller capacity at SEC Network that precludes me from doing that. But it is a way to enhance a viewing experience. And if you have the discretionary funds to be able to put $10 to have a rooting interest, you're basically paying for a rooting interest.
That's it.
And I'll never judge anyone for doing that. I did it when I was allowed to and haven't since. And so there is a way to do that in moderation in order to enjoy watching football. It's kind of like going to a bar. Like, if I want to go to a bar to have a beer and some food while watching a game, nobody's making me do that, but it enhances the experience.
Absolutely.
It's social. It's a way to hang out with friends and watch games. Like, gambling is the same thing to me. Like, it's just paying a premium to have a different perspective on watching a sporting event. And I'll never judge anyone for that. It's fun.
Right.
In moderation and in responsibility. But it is dangerous, I think, how common and mainstream it has become for professional athletes who it's really easy to become a part of. And that's all I'll say about it.
That's it. And that was perfectly said. I'll leave it at that.
Coming up, second half of the show, hour number 3. Titans have a long injury report we could dive into. Plus, there's one playmaker and offensive player I think we're about to see a lot more of. Mike McCoy talked about him yesterday, and you'll hear from the Titans interim coach next.
It's Ramon Foster for Brian's Motorsports, man. They're located in Hendersonville at 789 West Main Street in Hendersonville, Tennessee. The social media on Instagram at Brian's Motorsports. You can find them on Facebook also, man. But here's the thing about them. They're just simply the best at car customization. I've had a few of my vehicles customized by them. It was something subtle, from some subs put in my old truck to adding wheels to my truck or to the wife's, or you can get it wrapped, whatever the case may be. But here's what I'm going to tell you. And dealing with Brian is going to be first class. It's going to be done right every single time. And what you're looking for, they'll throw some ideas out there, but their motto has been dream, design, build. And that's your dreams that you have on what you want your vehicle to look like. I don't care if it's a truck, a car, Jeep, a Bronco. It doesn't matter whatsoever. They offer tire and wheel packages, lift kits, lighting kits, winches, interior and audio customizations. If you can dream it, they will build it. I keep telling them they need to take me to the SEMA show out in Vegas because they build some sick trucks out there, man. But again, the best to do it, Brian's Motorsports. Get to them, 789 West Main Street in Hendersonville, Tennessee, or visit the socials at Brian's Motorsports.
It is 8:02. Good morning, live from the 104.5 The Zone Studios. I'm Justin Hawkins. The Tennessee Titans return to the practice field Wednesday as they get ready for their second matchup of the season with the Colts, this time on the road. A loaded injury report highlighted by Jeffrey Simmons, L'Jarius Sneed, Calvin Ridley, Bryce Oliver, and Arden Key, all listed as did not practice. Interim head coach Mike McCoy announced yesterday that Sneed will miss some time with a quad injury. Meanwhile, Jeffrey Simmons will be week to week with a hamstring injury. Tonight, Thursday Night Football, as the Los Angeles Chargers host the Minnesota Vikings at SoFi Stadium. Carson Wentz is making his fifth consecutive start as J.J. McCarthy continues to nurse an ankle injury. The Chargers are favored by 3.5 points, and kickoff is at 7:15 on Prime Video, or you can hear Westwood One's coverage of the game right here on 104.5 The Zone, starting at 7 o'clock. Some breaking news this morning out of the NBA per ESPN's Shams Charania. Miami Heat guard Terry Rozier has been arrested by the FBI as part of an alleged sports gambling probe. And Portland Trail Blazers head coach Chauncey Billups has also been arrested for alleged illegal gambling for an illegal poker operation that's related to the mafia. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you got to go to USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Second half of the show and hour 3 getting started on Ramon and Will, fueled by Scooters Coffee, locally owned in Rivergate, Smyrna, Brentwood, White House, or Mount Juliet. Amazing people, amazing drinks, amazingly fast. Coming up in 15 minutes, voice of the Vols, Mike Keith. Thursday 3 picks against the spread at 9:20, unless you're an NBA player. And your phone calls at 615-737-1045. 11-year NFL veteran, involved for life, Ramon Foster. Justin Hawkins, our producer. I am Will Bowling. And the Tennessee Titans have a long injury list heading to Indianapolis this weekend. L'Jarius Sneed is he's not week to week. He will be out for some time, Mike McCoy said yesterday, with another quad injury. Jeffrey Simmons is week to week with a hamstring injury. Calvin Ridley did not practice yesterday either with a hamstring injury. Bryce Oliver still out with a knee problem. James Lynch did not practice yesterday with a shoulder. Arden Key has a quad problem. He didn't practice yesterday. Blake Hance didn't practice. Kevin Zeitler got a rest day. Ramon, there is a long list of good Titans players that I don't think are going to play Sunday in Indianapolis.
You're almost just screaming to yourself if you're on the team, make it to the bye. Just get us to the bye. I don't think this is going to be a over-the-top bye week for them. I think it's going to be more rest, and it should be, instead of trying to develop guys, because if you can't put a healthy product out on the field, meaning, bodies that can contribute, then what are we doing here? Guys are simply just trying to get to that point. Hopefully at that point you have L'Jarius back. You also have Jeff back. I'm not sure how much longer Arden Key's going to be out also. But those are 3 prominent defensive players for this team, and you're going against the best offense in the NFL this upcoming weekend. A little bleak, Will. A little bleak, man.
I want to see more of Chimere Dike in the offense, and we started to see that against New England. I think without Tyler Lockett now, there is a big opportunity for Chim to be a full-time starter on offense. He is the NFL's leader in all-purpose yards, from return yards to rushing and receiving. This was Mike McCoy talking about his role increasing when he spoke with the media yesterday.
Well, Chim, as you all know, his role has increased the past couple weeks, and as the season went on, and you see the production, the big play he made the other day in the game. So he's made the most of that opportunity. So it's great, and now it's going to be opportunity for others also, with where our roster is right now, and with it's an opportunity for other guys to step up.
Other guys as well. Not just Chimere Dike.
It's expectation, though.
Expectation, Xavier Restrepo.
Didn't he give like a soft answer on him yesterday, though?
There were a lot of Restrepo answers yesterday. There were a lot of Restrepo questions.
But nothing came as to he's getting his opportunity this week. What? Why did you have to start off this 8 o'clock?
I mean, the fan base wants to talk about it, so let's talk about it.
All right, let's talk about it.
Is it Restrepo time in Tennessee?
Is it Restrepo time? If he can get past Mason Kinsey and James Prochet first.
So it's probably not Restrepo time.
No, not yet. I didn't hear Coach Mike McCoy give a defined answer into, yes, we love his development and he's going to get an opportunity. What I heard, he's also been working on defense too. Like, he's a real good team player at this point. And
scout team guy.
Right now, yeah. I do want to see it because what if there is something there? I saw somebody yesterday post a catch of his from the preseason, and I'm thinking to myself, those aren't the starters he's going against. I think now, Nashville media, we should be conditioned enough also to understand there are 3 seasons: preseason, regular season, postseason. And in every level, there's a different level of play. Well, what we saw this preseason from this offense is not what we're seeing in the regular season because it's different. There's game planning. And when you get an opportunity to go to the postseason playoff games too, that is a way different world in itself. Get a man an opportunity. But he's also got to – why you laugh? But he's also got to –
you say it.
But he also got to earn that too. He's got to earn that through trust. He has – and I saw somebody – it was Monday, I think, we were doing this show. Somebody said, well, why is he still on the practice squad? Well, there's also value in guys being on the practice squad too. There's an opportunity for him to be poached by somebody else. I don't know if the Titans are protecting him, if he's a protected player. But what I would say is this league will never hide talent.
So that entire exchange you're mentioning about him making a catch in preseason, it was Nate Washington who started the conversation 2 days ago, saying, let me ask you this. What did Restrepo do in preseason that has you so thirsty to play him? Don't talk about college and what the others aren't doing. Don't matter on this level. He had a preseason, so what did you see that makes you want to play him? And Justin Graver at Titans Film Room said, it's this play, and it was a catch with 3 minutes left in the fourth quarter against the Minnesota Vikings on 3rd and 5, where Restrepo makes a tough catch between 2 defenders and says, I'd argue Restrepo's doing more to help his QB on this one play than most of the Titans receivers have done throughout the season. I just think a team with nothing to lose should be more willing to take chances and explore options. Nate Washington retweeted that and said, the guys he was playing against at this time probably ain't even make the team, with a lot of laughing emojis. That was the full exchange you're referencing.
Nate said it, not me. He's a wide receiver, former wide receiver. He understands that time of the game. We're talking about fourth quarter with about 3 minutes left in the game. You better off going against some high school DBs at that point, man.
That's the disrespect for some
because
third and fourth stringer defensive backs are crazy.
Did they make the team? Probably not.
No,
at
but
that
they're not
point.
high schoolers. Like that's wild.
I say that as a 1%er. You damn right, Will. I'm tired of playing around with this, man. I just am, man. If this team was winning, he wouldn't even be a conversation piece at this point.
No, he wouldn't.
It's almost like, and I'm not gonna disrespect him in saying that because if he gets his opportunity, he's shine. We're gonna talk about how good it is. I can acknowledge that too.
It would be a great story if it does work.
Phenomenal story if it does work. But if you're telling me his college quarterback is here and his college quarterback can't pull the strings to get him on the field, what are we doing here? Like. As Blaine said, and I've said it, and anybody that's played this game, one thing they will never do is hide talent. Not like that. This isn't play 4 games and then we're going to redshirt you in college. This isn't that era of football. This team is in a dire need of finding something that works.
And Chimere Dike worked last week. I mean, the most first quarter yards by a Titans rookie receiver in over 2 decades. Mm-hmm. That's the guy that's going to earn more opportunities here because he has the explosiveness and the ability to take the top off the defense. I also think, Ramon, he's one of the players on this team that can, like you mentioned in the first hour, take a 5-yard route and turn it into a 30-yard gain. Mm-hmm. The Titans need more players that can do more with less. Ultimately, that's what this team needs and is missing in a lot of ways. Because when we talk about the Dan Graziano piece at ESPN.com earlier this morning about how they want Cam to be a little less robotic, but they also want Cam to make the game a little bit easier than he's making it, saying like there are plays to be made and he's making it harder than it needs to be. Well, the next question becomes, do the Titans have the playmakers that will allow this offense to be boring and good? Can you turn a 5-yard check down into a 20-yard gain every now and then? Chimere Dike is one of those guys who can. And I don't think it has to just be end arounds. I don't think it has to just be posts across the face of a defender against middle of the field safety like it was against New England. I think he can win one-on-one and man-to-man and get separation. That's what I want to see more of on Sunday. Can Chimere Dike win his individual matchups and give Cam Ward an option in the intermediate passing game to find success?
If you play guys over him, you know what I'm saying? Like, then you stop that from happening. Now it's the biggest portion of development that Chimere's going to have right now. He ain't got nobody in front of him. Like, Van Jefferson's out there making plays from time to time. You had another guy ask for his release, and Tyler Lockett. Like, the best part about this now is the young guys can really develop. The thing that's most, I guess, disheartening about it is this isn't college, an all-freshman team. This is a professional-led team right here that you want to see them be pros, but they ain't really got no guidance, Will. You know what I'm saying? Like that you got 3 rookies right now, Cam, Alec, and Chim, that are trying to find their way with no real guidance. And I'm going to go back to the big boys up front. I thought that they would be the ones that drag them to the finish line. They're getting no assistance right now.
We came into the season thinking the strength of the Titans offense would be the offensive line. And they're not.
They're lending nothing. I mean, nothing consistent.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what takes away from those types of guys' development, and also theirs too. You got individuals playing well enough from time to time, but collectively is not allowing, to your point, a run game to be established to where your wide receivers at that point can get open. Run games open up the passing game, or vice versa, and neither is working consistently.
Well, and you need Cam Ward to consistently not throw the ball behind receivers and in breaking routes, which has continued to happen.
It's true.
Coming up, Voice of the Vols, Mike Keith. We preview Tennessee, Kentucky. Maybe talk a little bit about Tony Vitello with Mike as well, coming up next.
Selling your home can be stressful, but it doesn't have to be. Get a guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate. There are no showings, no open houses, no stress. Work with the #1 real estate team in the U.S. and close with confidence. Go to markspain.com today.
Ramona Will, 104.5 The Zone is fueled by Scooter's Coffee. Sopranos music means it's time to talk to the voice of the Vols, Mike Keith, who joins us Thursdays at 8:20, presented by our good friends of Volunteer Traditions and Two Rivers Ford, Tennessee and Kentucky from Lexington, under the lights this Saturday night. Mike, good morning. How are you?
Good morning, guys. I'm fine. Thank you.
Mike, there have been a lot of really good Tennessee teams that have played some really close games in Lexington, Kentucky. Ramon Foster was a part of one that clinched the SEC East on a very cold night. I saw a post on social media this week that said, Texas, you're officially an SEC team now that you've had to sweat out a game in Lexington. Despite the record, despite everything that has gone on with Kentucky football over the past 2 seasons specifically, Mike, this is a challenge. What about this specific Kentucky team will make this specific game a challenge on Saturday night?
2 things, Will. First of all, Brad White's a really good defensive coordinator. He's been there for 7 years, so he's been there the entire time Josh Heupel has been Tennessee's head coach. He knows this offense, and so that gives him some advantage over other people who've maybe seen it once or twice. He's experienced it multiple times with multiple people, and he's had hard times with it. He's given up some big plays at times, but at other times too, like last year, he contained Tennessee to a certain extent. What they did last week against Texas gained 179 yards in that game, 179. And so you just understand they're going to come play ball. You know, they've got some guys on defense who can make some things happen. They're always physical in the secondary. They always tackle. And so that's going to give Kentucky a chance in any game that they play, because when you show up and play like that, you can knock somebody loose of a ball. You can tip a ball up in the air and run it back for a score. I mean, things like that can happen when you have one side of the ball that's fundamentally strong. And on the other side of the ball, what they got is they got the best performance to date from Cutter Boley in the passing game. And so suddenly Kentucky had the ability to do some things other than just running the football. Now, they didn't finish drives, and they didn't score a lot of points, and they gave up too many sacks, but that was certainly more on track with what they had hoped to be. So I think that's the danger in playing this Kentucky team, is this freshman quarterback's getting better. They have running backs, and they always have a competent defense, and they do again. So I think you understand the challenge is you may be going up and playing a team that is on the rise, that you always have to hit your head against the wall when you're playing against them, if you're Tennessee especially.
Voice of the Vols, Mike Keith, our guest this morning. And, Mike, it's interesting when you look at the Kentucky defense. In terms of total rushing yards allowed, they don't look great. But then you look at yards per carry, and all of a sudden you see a little bit of a different story, Mike, because they've been down in so many games late that teams are just, by nature, running the football more, and you see more attempts, right? That challenge this week feels like kind of where you begin to evaluate the matchup, Tennessee offense versus Kentucky defense. And Mike, Tennessee's coming out of a game against Alabama where they did some good things in terms of yards per carry. That challenge for Joey Aguilar in running against maybe heavier boxes, how big of a challenge is that for Tennessee right now? Or maybe the numbers will tell you, hey, throw the run solution, throw the screen, but also, hey, you kind of got to ride the hot hand at times as well and let Deshaun Bishop and Peyton Lewis and those guys continue to stay hot.
Yes.
Perfect.
I didn't really want in there, Will.
Poorly framed by me,
I agree with every bit of it. So, yes. I mean, I think for Tennessee, they've got to do what they do. But at the same time, I think your point is dead on, and that is, because teams have not feared Kentucky's ability to score, they've just run the ball and run the clock out more or less. You know, running the ball is always safer. And so they've just continued to pound it and tried to get out of there without a turnover, knowing that Kentucky's only shot to get back in a game was to score on defense. So, yeah, that's exactly what you've seen. for Tennessee, you still want to run the football. You still want to keep that sort of balance. You still want to have the play action. But sure, I mean, do you have to go into it thinking maybe we run or maybe we pass to set up the run in this case, and maybe the pass game is some quick stuff to take advantage of your speed advantage on the outside? Absolutely. I mean, I think that could very well be. And, when you play against a solid defense, which Kentucky has every year, you don't want to be pig-headed. You understand you're going to have to do some things that are maybe, toward what they want you to do. They're going to set it up and they're going to say, okay, you can do this. Let's see if you're willing to do it. I think you've got to take what they give you and hopefully put yourself in a position like other teams that you're playing from in front, because their defense is ahead of their offense, although it does appear their offense is improving.
No doubt about it.
It probably would have helped if I'd asked a question there. So that was
okay. I got it.
Thank you.
Mike's such a pro.
Absolutely.
I do the same things, okay? All right, to Mike from time to time. How you doing, Mike?
I'm doing fine, Ramon. How are you? It's good to be with you.
We're good, my friend.
We're excited, Ramon, just to share this. We're going to announce our basketball announced team this afternoon, so we're really excited.
Oh, let's go!
Fantastic.
We were gonna do it yesterday or the day before, but something else came up. You might have heard.
Just there was some rumblings and some talks and stuff like that. Well, I'm sure we'll ask you about that in a second if you don't mind waiting on that one too. Not the announcement, but the baseball.
Whatever you want to ask.
Oh, okay. Well, can I borrow $20?
Just ask something, unlike my stupid soliloquy a minute ago.
I'm going to carry on there, Mike. This is 2 weeks.
Hang on.
We're good.
$20 out here.
Can I?
Yes, now I'm 20 to the good, Mike. There we go.
There you are.
20 to the good. With that being said, night games to the good's got to be in the Vols' favor. Go to Tuscaloosa. They're on the back end of a loss from Alabama. Then you also go to Lexington. And I won't disparage what Kentucky is. It's a night game in the SEC against another rival. Where have you seen this team this week as far as the concentration of bouncing back? Because there was a lot of heartbreak in Tuscaloosa with how it unfolded when you look at it. Have you seen this team somewhat respond over the course of practice for what Lexington is? Because they played Texas tight, and they've played Ole Miss tight. This isn't a just kick the can down the road type of team. Mike, how have you seen the Vols be this week in preparation for Lexington?
What I've seen has been sharp. What I watched yesterday was sharp. Today is their lighter day, and then Friday they go faster. They're one of those teams that kind of reverses the Thursday and Friday because they want some speed on Friday. And what I saw yesterday in practice, I thought was sharp. There was physicality. I think the good thing for Tennessee in all of this is that Kentucky did play Texas so well. I think that gets your attention.
Yeah.
And when you watch the game, and I don't mean to demean our listeners who follow the Longhorns, if you had played that game and not told the records of the two teams, except in numbers. In other words, had you not said Texas is 4-2 and Kentucky's 2-3, you would have thought Texas was the team with the losing record and Kentucky was the team with the winning record because Kentucky outplayed them so. And so, as a former player, Ramon, when you see a tape like that, it gets your attention. Our players know who Texas is. They understand all of the buildup. Maybe Texas hasn't had the year they were supposed to have, but they're Texas. And they went in there and they were very lucky to get out of there with a win. And so I think that's the part of it that helps Tennessee to get over the Alabama thing, is because they understand. I mean, if they go in there and mope around, they get beat. I mean, that's just what's going to happen. If you go in and, play like Texas did this week, especially with this being the heightened rivalry it is, they beat you. And that's the understanding of the SEC, the understanding of rivalries, and also with respect to Kentucky.
Yeah. Mike, I want to ask you another question that's non-sport but sports related, because it'll lead to I'll pass it over to Will after this from the baseball side of it. Mike, when you look at Danny White, and he's received a lot of heat on social media, and I know it's not real from time to time, but what has he meant to this university and how he's managed it and gone about dealing with coaches, big decisions, money making, and just a standard? I'll be quite honest with you that I don't know if we've seen in my era with the ADs that I had at Tennessee from 2004 to 2008 in a very long time, as he's taken a lot of heat lately. I don't want to carry any water for him, but I think it's been a lot of hot takes about a guy and one decision that was probably above his head.
Well, I mean, this is a difficult situation because you have a lot of things at play here. First of all, Tony Vitello won a national championship. I mean, that's as successful as you can get in college baseball to win the College World Series. He won a lot of games. He packed the stadium. They're building a new stadium. Right now, they're finishing up what is an amazing transformation of Lindsey Nelson Stadium into what is, in essence, a new stadium, a facility that's crazy. The budget has gone up 5 times since Tony Vitello got here. In other words, it was $3 million, and now it's close to $14-15 million. When I did baseball here in the 90s, you'd have 500 for a midweek game. Now you can't get a ticket for a midweek game. Now you've got scrimmages in cities outside of Nashville in the fall, and people show up for the scrimmages, 4,500 people in Chattanooga. Tony Vitello also has endeared himself to the fan base because he was at the basketball games, the lady ball games, the football games on the sidelines. He took every picture with the kid. He showed up for charities, and he genuinely liked being at Tennessee. And from that standpoint, he goes beyond just being a successful coach. I mean, he was a transformational personality. Everybody in the community knew him. Even if you didn't know anything about baseball, you knew who Tony Vitello is. And so you've lost a star. And that is very, very hard, even to accept it on the face value of, oh, by the way, he's becoming the big league manager with the San Francisco Giants, and this has never been done before. So you have all of that hanging over you. People are disappointed. They're disappointed about the Alabama result, too. So, yes, it was the wrong time to have this hit overall. And now you've got to make the type of decision that Danny White has been forced to make over the 5 years here on more than one occasion. And that is, how do you keep Tennessee baseball at this level for the next 5 to 10 years and beyond? Because with the resources that you've committed, the only way it really works is if you keep winning. So he's got to make a decision on a next coach, not just based on 2026. He's got to think about what it looks like in 2031 and 2036. And he's had to do that with women's basketball. He's had to do that in football when he brought Josh Heupel in, and with a lot of the financial decisions that he's made about football, with NIL, with everything that goes with it. This is one of those moments where he earns his money, and most of us are very glad we're not in that seat.
Right.
Because the call is for Josh Elander, who's wildly popular and is very good at his job. And if he's selected, he will make total sense. But Danny White has to say, is he the best for Tennessee at this moment and for the next 5 to 10 years? Because there's going to be a full process, if Josh Elander is selected, it strengthens him. It strengthens him because it says, we looked around the country and we realized our own guy was right here. So that's a good thing. But if you go in another direction, then there going to be some people, particularly people with the program, former players, who are not happy. So, I mean, this is a big moment, and it's on Danny White largely, and that's a tough place to be. I would not want to be in his shoes.
Mike, it's incredible. Anytime I've had the chance to call a baseball game at Tennessee or interact with Tony, you end up talking more about movies or football or basketball or anything else, and then you kind of get to the baseball. Like, his personality is so big, and he is such a college type of coach, right? And just the way he interacts with people, and his dad being a high school coach for so long, no doubt plays a role in that. Just spending time around him the way that you have and getting to know him over the last couple of months, what interests you about his fit now as a major league manager? And how do you think Tony Vitello attacks a 162-game marathon that's going to be a very different challenge from a 50 to 60 game sprint of college baseball?
Well, I think there are a couple things. First of all, I think the fact that Major League Baseball teams are run almost by committee now, with all of the analytics experts and the minor league experts and the training experts and the pitching experts. I mean, they sit down and provide data. Tony's always been really good about using everyone's expertise. Frank Anderson and Ross Kivett and obviously Josh Elander and Quentin Eberhard, who is the strength and conditioning coach. He never felt like he had to do it all, and he never did it all. He managed. And so that's what he'll do at the big league level. He will manage, and that's where it will be a good fit. The obvious questions are, how do you handle big leaguers? Because these are grown men. Mm-hmm. And then how do you handle how long it is? Because pulling a guy, when he's got a no-hitter going on May the 5th seems crazy to a lot of people, especially those of us who grew up with baseball. But they play for a much bigger picture now with the health of the player, the long-term effect of the player, the long-term effect of the season. This is different. I mean, you're in a game where you've got to beat Vanderbilt or Alabama to win the series, knowing there's a tiebreaker involved, is very different than how you'll manage a game on June the 23rd, regardless of what's going on. And that may go against his competitive nature. You want to win, but you also understand there's a bigger picture. So I think that part of it is going to be a challenge for him to get his mind around, as it would be for anybody leaving the college game to the pro game. Very different.
Well, Mike, you've got a marathon of your own that's about to start with basketball season beginning with football season. What's this next month going to be like? What's the process been like, kind of preparing for Rick Barnes and men's basketball getting started, while also understanding there's a lot of football left to be played as well?
It's fun. I mean, it's a lot of fun. I like to work. So I get to go to ball practices and talk about ball and be around another sport and, understand what the basketball program has a chance to be here at Tennessee this year. So, it's been a tremendous amount of fun. Obviously, it's tremendously fun, too, preparing for Duke, understanding that they are, ironically, they're a team, they returned no starters from last year. Cooper Flagg obviously just made his NBA debut with Dallas, and yet they're picked very highly because of Cameron Boozer and his brother and the other freshmen, and then the transfers that they brought in. That they're picked to win the ACC, even though they lost 5 starters from a 35-4 Final Four team. So we'll see that Sunday night. I'm elated to have the opportunity, and a lot of the planning stuff with the job part of it is not fabulous right now. Having a bunch of meetings and, writing notes and, the non-sports part of it, that's not great. But once we get it up and get it running, I think we'll be okay.
Mike, where do we need to be tuned in today to hear the announcement on Basketball Analyst?
Well, I would just recommend that you join us at the Tennessee Athletics YouTube site for the Mike Keith Show this afternoon at 2:00. We'll talk all about it and discuss, obviously, some of the Vitello history here and what comes next for the Vols in this search, which I think is, like I said, I work for the athletic department, but I don't know everybody involved. I'm a new guy. So it's going to be interesting to see which way Danny White chooses to go here, because It's a program people are very passionate about now. They weren't always. They weren't when Tony Vitello got here 8 years ago. So to see it the way it is right now, in some ways, for somebody who loves Tennessee baseball, it's crazy good to see people this passionate. I'm just glad I'm not having to make the call because, man, it's not going to be easy. Maybe a candidate in the process makes it very obvious for him, and if that's the case, that's great.
Love it. Tennessee Athletics YouTube channel. Subscribe while you're there, too, like Mike told you last week.
We love that.
Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely.
It helps my family. So.
We love having Voice of the Balls, Mike Keith, with us on Thursday mornings here on the show. Mike, thank you. Appreciate the time.
All right, guys. Have a great day.
Yes,
have a good one, Mike.
Voice of the Balls, Mike Keith, with us this morning. Helps his family.
I didn't know he was making this announcement today.
Big time.
Big time.
Yeah. Whom's is to say? We'll find out today.
Is to say.
2:00. Tennessee Athletics YouTube.
That's big time.
Coming up, Thursday Night Football. Interesting tonight. We'll dive into some of the headlines on that front. Coming up next. What if you could pull up to $500,000 in cash out of your home and drop your mortgage rate to 4.99% APR? Hey, it's Will Bowling. Right now at Loan Pronto, they've got the lowest rates in 3 years. With Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan, you can get your cash in as little as 3 days, pay off all those high-interest credit cards, and even skip your next 2 house payments. One client just got $300,000 approved in under 24 hours, paid off their debt, paid off 2 car loans, and saved $2,100 a month. One call, life changed. There's no wait. No hard credit pull up front. You probably won't need an appraisal. Just fast, easy cash from your home's equity. Rates are at a 3-year low, so act now. Call 615-499-5780 or visit loanpronto.com for your free instant home appraisal. See how much cash you can get today. Loan Pronto, A+ rated with the BBB and nearly 2,500 5-star Google reviews. Call 615-499-5780 and see how much cash you can get today. LoanPronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781. On approved credit, visit NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
It's Ramon Foster from Medical House Calls, man. They are available to you 7 days a week, Monday through Sunday, 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. Those times are very convenient for you. They got same-day appointments available and next-day guaranteed. I'll make it even easier for you. If you got your phone out right now, a piece of paper and a pen or a pencil, you can write it down. It's 615-838-2375. You could call or text them to set up an appointment. I've told you about how awesome they are and explain to you the why this is in place because men don't like going to the doctors. I always tell us, get there, take care of yourselves, or how the doctor's offices are crowded and the convenience of having time to do it, no missing playoff games. Like, the convenience is all there, but here's how the process works. You call or text that number I gave you earlier. The team will assess what you have going on. You can book your visit, and after a quick call, they will schedule your visit. Medical providers will be at your doorstep or your place of business to handle you, okay? They're trying to bring back the concierge to medicine, where you're not waiting around in any germ-filled rooms and just got to waste a lot of time. Set your appointment, get your appointment done. MedicalHouseCalls.com is the website, and make sure you tell them that Ramon sent you.
What's up? It's Will Bowling. Is your home in its heating system ready for the cold weather of winter? Well, you may have found out this week. I said earlier on the show that when I woke up this morning, the temperature had a 4 in front of it. That's a problem for heating systems all around Middle Tennessee. Maybe you flipped it on for the first time overnight the past couple of days, and you're thinking, uh-oh. Well, available 24/7, Lee Company is here to help. With the turn of the season officially here, Lee Company's professional team of technicians, they are now performing heating tune-ups and seasonal maintenance to keep your home running efficiently this fall and winter. You got to contact them. This award-winning Lee Company team, they will make sure your heating system is ready to go. Get them online at leecompany.com. Keep your home cozy for the cold months ahead. There is no worse feeling than flipping that switch and there's no warm air coming out at all. Make sure you head online, leecompany.com, for all your heating needs, or call them at 615-567-1000. That's Lee Company, all you need. Ramona Willow, 104.5 The Zone, fueled by Scooters Coffee, wrapping up Hour 3. Thursday night football, kicking off the new NFL week tonight. And the two offensive lines tonight, Ramon, have not been good. Not been good. It feels like we say that a lot around the NFL right now.
It has been a storyline, man. It's starting at the college level. There's only so many teams that are running this, pro style and challenging guys to be ready for the next level as far as the NFL goes. It's so quick and go. I will say I think college coaches are probably the most selfish coaches in all of sports, though. And I say that not knowing all of them and what they're teaching, but I do legitimately say they're worried about the winning because there's the portal and the changing of the offense, too, I'll blame that, has added so much pressure on production, and get it going right now or I'm about to get fired. Like, I know we joke about these coaches getting, buyouts and stuff like that, but no coach wants this to be a part of their timeline when you look at, or their resume, when you look at, you got fired after 2 years? Why? It's still a reputation to be had. So they
keep your job.
They err on the side of let me be as productive and minimal as I possibly can on moving the ball around.
3-3 Minnesota Vikings at the 4-3 Los Angeles Chargers. The Chargers started 3-0. They've struggled since. They have been really banged up front. Trey Pipkins, Jamari Sawyer were limited in Tuesday's practice. Joe Alt is supposed to maybe return from an ankle injury, which would be a little bit ahead, I think, of the timeline that was originally put out there for him. Vikings have the second highest blitz rate in the NFL behind defensive coordinator Brian Flores.
Of course.
And Titans head coach candidate. And Justin Herbert has been blitzed more than any quarterback in the NFL this year. Carson Wentz will be making his fifth start in place of J.J. McCarthy. He has gone 2-2 in his first four. In the two wins, Ramon, he completed 72% of his passes. In the two losses, he has completed 63% of his passes. It is funny that in the wins, he has 200 pass yards per game. Yeah. In the losses, he has 331 pass yards per game.
From behind.
Right.
Yeah, it's right. From
when
behind.
he throws it less, the Vikings have a better chance to win. Kind of a weird dynamic with him and J.J. McCarthy, because J.J. McCarthy's original timeline was around 4 weeks. I believe this is week 6 that he has been out.
Yeah.
And as badly as he played early in the season, Ramon, I don't know that they're really were trying to rush and hurry to get him back in the lineup. Kind of an odd situation.
You know why? Because his boot thing left and went to Seattle. It's Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold.
Oh, well, yeah.
I mean, not to say that he doesn't want J.J. McCarthy, but it did seem like that was a little bit of a fractured situation that they had.
How so?
As a team. It just seemed to me that there was a little bit more of a want to commit to Sam Darnold than it was to J.J. McCarthy. Remember the free agency of Sam Darnold and how that went along? And we saw, I feel like, was the first game against Chicago J.J. McCarthy played in.
Yeah.
Of some good moments that he had.
Came back, let it come back, won on the road.
Mm-hmm. It was pretty solid. I'm just looking at this more, just giving the tip of a cap to Sam Darnold, because looking at Carson Wentz run this offense and how he's played, he's just a broken quarterback at this point too. Like, you do have to match the system up to the quarterback, and hopefully J.J. McCarthy's time off, if it's more extended than they thought, has been to his preparation for the rest of the season. They still got an opportunity. They're 3-3 on the season with a defense that can back them up also. So if he comes in right and understanding what their head coach wanted, Kevin O'Connell wanted him to do, it could be good for Minnesota.
Yeah.
The NFC North, though, is right. It's tough. I did not see the Lions doing this again.
Especially after week 1, we felt like maybe their window was starting to close.
I thought it was.
With 2 new coordinators and a lot of changes. Still doing it at a high level.
Dan Campbell deserves a sit down.
Yeah, he is maybe in the middle of his best coaching job yet as the head coach of the Detroit Lions.
I agree.
Let's go to the phone, 615-737-1045 to Johnny Ray. What's up, Johnny Ray?
Hey, good morning, fellas. Just wanted to speak real quick to the need for Cam Ward to just not look so robotic, and I think it would do worlds of good for his mental just to have a familiar target. He's someone he's built rapport with, and Restrepo on the field with him. And I know this is we're kind of beating a dead horse here, But just wanted to throw a couple names out there of undrafted free agent wide receivers. Wes Welker. We're talking Amendola. Adam Thielen, Victor Cruz. Like, those guys just needed a shot to get on the field. And I think that at this point, Restrepo's probably more hungry to touch the NFL turf than a lot of the guys we got on the team. And I'll leave it with that. Anchor up, tighten down.
Thank you, Johnny.
No doubt, Johnny, right?
Here's the thing. If and I'm not trying to belittle Restrepo and the story and the opportunity that he has, because I wish him all the best and I hope he's successful. But if we're giving stories of undrafted receivers, there are more examples of guys that didn't work than the ones who did. You are mentioning the 5% without the 95%. Now, yes, it is possible that Xavier Restrepo, when given an opportunity, and considering his chemistry with Cam Ward, could have some success, but he's got to first even just be up on game days and then take another step to get on the field. Like, he's 2 steps behind playing a lot of snaps.
Yeah.
And even if he's up on game day, there's not a guarantee he's even active or even playing offense. He might just be playing special teams. We've got to manage expectations. You can't put Wes Welker expectations on a guy just because he caught a lot of passes in college. That is not always an indicator of success in the National Football League. It's not fair to Xavier Restrepo to put Wes Welker and Victor Cruz on him.
No, not even a little bit. Nate Washington, another undrafted wide receiver, if I'm not mistaken.
Those are exceptions.
Yeah,
not the norm.
And I'm with you. I think we have been covering this team long enough, and we've seen certain stuff. And there's this old Patriot side of things where you've seen Tom Brady make the most out of these types of guys. But I would almost bet, like, those wide receivers that he had, Amendola and Wes Welker, the athleticism of those dudes, I challenge you to go look at what those dudes are capable of. I challenge you also to go look at the quarterback who's throwing the football to them.
Yeah. At this point, Ramon, he's practiced and played as much with the other receivers on this team as he has Restrepo. That's the thing, is he has rapport with all of them now.
He ain't even throwing a Restrepo in practice.
These were not 4-year teammates. If he had been with Restrepo for 4 years together at Miami, maybe we're having a different discussion. But he's not throwing to Restrepo in practice and hasn't since June.
Yeah.
Like, the last time Cam Ward probably threw passes in a full practice, like consistent. Maybe he's had 1 or 2 throws every now and then. But like, the last time they really practiced together was rookie minicamp.
Yeah.
They only played 12 games together. Well, at this point, he's played 7 games with Elikai Manor and Chimere Dike.
Yeah.
And he also practices with them right now. He has as much rapport with them as he does Restrepo. Off the field, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about on the field practice and chemistry. He has that with everyone now.
To your point, you almost knock Cam by saying that Cam can't throw to other wide receivers other than Restrepo. Anytime I feel like you mention that as a fan base, you knock Cam by saying, well, Cam, why can't you do this with other wide receivers?
I understand why people feel like there's this chemistry with him and Restrepo, and they are good friends, and I'm not minimizing that part of it. But in terms of on-field chemistry and rapport, Cam Ward should have that with more players than just Restrepo at this point. It's not June anymore, is the point. 615-737-1045 coming up. 3 Titans who could be traded, according to ESPN. The percentage chances of 3 Tennessee Titans moving at the trade deadline. Coming up next. What's up? It's Will Bowling. I've got a new obsession, and yeah, you guys know about it. It's Daisy French onion dip. The stuff is incredible. It's my guilty pleasure during football season. At lunches and dinners when there's football on, just becomes chips, wings, veggies, and dips, and this dip specifically, Daisy French onion dip and Daisy ranch dip are a game changer. As delicious as a homemade dip and made with real herbs and spices, plus other ingredients you'd find in your own kitchen. So make sure you try some for your football weekend, which begins tonight, mind you. Daisy French onion dip and Daisy ranch dip at a grocery store near you.
You're losing your hair and you need a simple solution that works. You want the best modern technology with top-rated physicians, something that's guaranteed to work. Guys, you need Dr. Tanya Pauls and her team at Advanced Hair. They've completely redefined hair restoration, from the experience itself to the unmatched results, receding hairline, balding spot, thinning hair. Well, guess what? Address them all with Advanced Hair's simple one-day treatment and a calm, relaxed environment with the most experienced professionals. Advanced Hair has performed tens of thousands of these breakthrough treatments. And get this, your own natural hair begins to regrow the very next day. No one in Nashville can offer anything like the Advanced FUE found at Advanced Hair, and I highly recommend their team. It starts with your free consultation. You can call them, 629-348-HAIR. If you qualify, you'll also get $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. Refine your hair with the team that's redefined hair restoration. Again, the number, 629-348-HAIR, or visit them online at advancedhair.com.
It is 9:03. Good morning, live from the 104.5 The Zone studios. I'm Justin Hawkins. The Titans return to the practice field on Wednesdays. They get ready for their second matchup of the season with the Colts this Sunday on the road in Indianapolis. A loaded injury report highlighted by Jeffrey Simmons, L'Jarius Sneed, Calvin Ridley, Bryce Oliver, and Arden Key, all listed as did not practice yesterday. And interim head coach Mike McCoy announced that L'Jarius Sneed will miss some time with a quad injury. Meanwhile, Jeffrey Simmons is week to week with a hamstring injury. Tonight, Thursday Night Football for Week 8 as the Los Angeles Chargers host the Minnesota Vikings at SoFi Stadium. Carson Wentz making his 5th consecutive start at quarterback for the Vikings as J.J. McCarthy continues to nurse an ankle injury. The Chargers are favored by 3.5 points. Kickoff at 7:15 on Prime Video, or you can hear Westwood One's coverage of the game right here on 104.5 The Zone starting at 7 o'clock. Some breaking news this morning out of the NBA per ESPN's Shams Charania. Miami Heat guard Terry Rozier has been arrested by the FBI as a part of an alleged sports gambling probe. And then Portland Trailblazers head coach Chauncey Billups also has been arrested for an alleged illegal gambling. Per ABC News, Billups is being charged in an illegal poker operation that is tied to the mafia. Billups coached last night in the Trailblazers lost to the Minnesota Timberwolves and will make an initial court appearance on Thursday. For all your foundation repair and waterproof needs, you got to go to USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Away we go. 4th and final hour of the show. Ramon and Will is fueled by Scooter's Coffee on 104.5 The Zone and streaming live on 104.5 The Zone TV, Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitter, or Twitch. Scooter's Coffee is in Rivergate, Smyrna, Brentwood, White House, or Mount Juliet. Amazing people, amazing drinks, amazingly fast. The Evident Bank chat open for you on this program for 60 more minutes. Where one commenter says, hell, Restrepo can play D tackle. Take your time, Jeff. Get better.
Way to go, man.
You enjoyed that one.
I did enjoy that one. Because at this point, there's nothing Xavier Restrepo can't do, man. We did hear he's also on the scout team defense doing some stuff, too. Might as well put his hand in the dirt. Listen.
I think I would pay to see that.
The heck, yeah, I would, man. I'd absolutely love to see him get rolled out at the line of scrimmage. But at this point, that man is wide receiver 1 for this team. What we talking about?
I will give him credit. The media got to talk to him yesterday, and I was there for that. For all the Restrepo did a media scrum yesterday in his locker.
He had a crowd?
Yeah, he did.
Shout out to the undrafteds, man. No,
somebody walks by him too.
I'm undrafted. There's nothing cooler, Will, when they're around you.
I don't know who it was, but somebody walked by him too. It was like, Strep. All right, Strep. I will say for the jokes we make, and I think for the fans that some of whom have unrealistic expectations for how we can help this offense, he is such an easy guy to root for. He has got an awesome story. He has worked for everything he's ever earned at Miami. I don't want to talk down to fans who want to see him and who are rooting for him because the guy is really likable. He really is. And his faith, his story, his determination. And again, Ramon, I think where you're going to come in next is that there are a lot of guys who have stories like that.
There you go.
It's not just him. But again, he is an easy guy to root for and a super likable guy. He says all the right things, and clearly he's working hard and trying to get out there.
Man, so is Mason Kinsey.
That's true.
So is Brandon Crenshaw-Dixon, right? So is James Prochet. There's a long list of guys that want that opportunity, and I will never disparage anybody for wanting it. This is literally chasing your dreams. Mm-hmm. This is literally all the hard work that you've ever put in this. But, like, the reality of these situations is just sometimes you got to wait your turn or it's just not the right team for you.
Sure.
Like, the endearment to what Restrepo is because of Cam, because people want Cam to be so successful. And the one thing he had was a relationship with Xavier Restrepo at Miami that lended him to be the number 1 overall pick, too. So I get that part. You knew where I was going when I was smiling and looking back at Ron Slays. There's a long list of good guys There's a long list of good guys in this league, but you know who else people love? Antonio Brown, Terrell Owens,
Yeah.
Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes, Gronk, Warren Sapp. There's some hard to like dudes that you love, and you know why you liked and loved them dudes? Because they make plays.
They performed. Yeah.
Blaine Bishop was hated. You know what I'm saying? But you know what? He was loved because of the plays that he made, man. So, and it ain't our decision on whether Restrepo plays or not. And I'll tell you this, too. I'm not going to justify it until we see what he's actually capable of on the football field. That's just where I'm at with it.
ESPN.com writers listing 25 trade deadline candidates around the league have 3 Tennessee Titans on their list. Arden Key, Roger McCreary, and Chig Okonkwo. If you were listening to the show early last week, you heard Jeremy Fowler come on this show and say exactly that as well. Predicted chance of getting traded for each of them, Ramon. 40% chance on Arden Key, 35% chance on Roger McCreary, and a 30% chance on Chig Okonkwo. Is it fair to say Arden Key is the most likely to be moved of those 3?
I actually think Chig.
Really? Why's that?
Yeah, because he's the one playmaker that you have out there that you can dangle out and probably get a 5th for.
And I
don't know about a 5th, but he's the highest return guy to me.
I also think that's why he's the least likely to be moved.
Because of retention. Okay.
Well, and just too, I think Cam needs all the resources he could get to be successful.
All right, yeah.
And every move you have to make, if you're Mike Bergonzi, Chad Brinker, and the Titans organization at the trade deadline, you have to ask the important question of, does this make Cam Ward better or worse? Long-term? Short-term? How does this impact your quarterback?
That's fair.
Trading 2 defensive players is not going to impact your quarterback as much as taking away one of the guys who I think can turn something vanilla and a check down and something elementary, which they want more of from Cam, into a bigger play.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you're spot on with that take right there. Arden just got to get healthy.
Yeah, he does.
A part of me was also thinking because Jarvis Brownlee was injured while he got traded too. I thought they was putting Arden on the shelf before he got sent on the trade block. That deadline's next week, if I'm not mistaken, too. Sometime next week.
Yes. Yeah. I'll find the exact deadline and the date and time.
It's Tuesday
at 4 Eastern.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty impressive how quickly Brownlee came back from said injury.
Yes.
Anyway, yeah, all 32 teams have until Tuesday, November 4th to finalize any remaining trades. It is a week later now also because of the that was a new rule, remember, from the offseason. Since the season is a week longer, move the trade deadline back a week.
That's very true. That was an adjustment.
It usually would be the last Tuesday in October. Now it is the first Tuesday in November. Yeah. That is a change. Let's go to the phones. Michael is in Nashville. What's up?
How you doing?
Good. Good morning, Michael.
All right. Listen, my thing is you need to bench this quarterback.
Oh.
He's starting to pick up bad habits. Before he get, we had to trade him. My other thing is we have 5 problems in the Titans organization. We have a front office, we have a coaching, we have a locker room, we have a fan, and we have time. Till we fix some things, I can't see this team doing no good. This team need to be dismantled.
Michael, how does Cam get better if he's on the bench?
Well, I will put him next to the offensive coordinator and let him look at the game from a different perspective. We see what he can do on the field, but he needs to take another look at the game. He's fumbling. He's throwing the ball. He's got one receiver I see him throwing to most of the time. Where the other receivers at?
Thank you, Michael. Appreciate the call.
Michael's ticked off. I feel you, Mike.
You're not going to bench Cam Ward anytime soon.
Mike trying to preserve him.
Cam Ward's not going to get better unless he plays.
That's true. What Michael is thinking is he probably should have had a vet in front of him and walked him out there. I'm just throwing. I know. I'm trying to defend his honor there for a second. No, it did not happen.
So
what's his name? Caleb Williams went through the exact same thing too. Where you got to put him out there, or the most fearful thing that happens if he gets hurt. I mean, you don't want that to happen. You don't want that to happen. Also,
he's got to play. He's got to learn how to be an NFL quarterback, and it is more beneficial to do that with live bullets flying in football games than it is on the bench watching football games.
Yeah, understood.
Michael sounding like that Jets fan yesterday.
I hate this team.
That is Michael.
I'm sorry, Michael, but
Blasphemy.
You need
Cam
to
Ward's gonna
dub
keep
that
playing.
and put Titans over the top of it. At some point, Hawk, I'm expecting that to be done. I was always a Titans fan. I just hate this team.
Let's go to John up next, 615-737-1045. What's up, John?
Hey, bud. Thanks for taking the call. Wanted to talk to you about a statement you made some month ago, I guess, about that you would wear a Vanderbilt jersey.
Yep.
If Vandy gets into the playoffs.
Yep.
I've been a Vandy fan since the 80s and have gone through a lot of good and more bad. And what I want to say to you, Will, we don't want any bandwagon jumpers. What I'd rather you do.
Oh, don't worry, John.
Take that money to buy a good jersey, the cost of a good jersey, and take that money and donate it to Second Harvest Food Bank or the homeless. But don't put our colors on, buddy. We're only wanting true blue, black and gold here. So
fine by me.
Just picking at you.
Hey, John, I do have a serious question for you. You've been a Vandy fan, Vandy football fan for a long time. How does it feel coming out of this? Like from year to year, did you watch it intently? And I'm being serious as far as like the wins and losses that did come. Because if you're a Vandy fan, you might be a Titans fan is what I'm asking too. Like, how did you come through this?
Man, I have been through it all. I remember sitting in the old Vanderbilt Stadium, and your boys would come to Vanderbilt, and it was raining so hard we couldn't even hardly see the field.
Oh.
And my wife said, "It's time to go," and I said, "Nope, we're not leaving." I picked up Vanderbilt for a reason, and I have supported them through it. And I remember the old days of Joe B. Wyatt when we got to go to the bowl game. That was the year that they came out with a Susan B. Anthony dollar. And Joe B. said he wanted everybody to take Susan B. Anthony money down to Birmingham and spend it and let them know how much money Vandy brought there. And so I had a Crown Royal bag full of those Susan B. Anthony dollars, and I paid for everything with that. No, I've been a big fan, and I'm just picking at Will.
Oh yeah,
because
I love it.
Because I know he's a true Big Orange fan, like I'm a true big Vanderbilt fan. I just don't want you worrying on my jersey, buddy.
Hey, John, I've been looking for a way out, and you might have just given it to me. All right, so I might take you up on this.
All right, guys, have a blessed day and anchor down.
Thank you, John.
Congrats to you, John.
I respect the heck out of John.
I genuinely mean that. I heard Jimmy on 3HL, Jimmy Wyatt on 3HL talking about it. Like, I couldn't imagine. I was born into this.
That was great.
That was great by you.
Love it.
Donation, Will.
I've literally gotten like Facebook. I got a Facebook friend request from a Vandy fan trying to offer me his jersey this week. Like, buddy, I'm not going to accept your Facebook friend request.
There were rules to it.
John just gave you an easy way out.
Yeah, he did.
Fantastic.
He did give you a way out. And it's a tax write-off.
Yeah. Well, does anyone have Vandy, Missouri on their Thursday 3 picks this week? Thursday, two of them. All right. Well, I guess I'll join. I'll make that. I had an opening for a third pick.
I got a separate pick then. If you two go.
No. We'll all three do it.
Okay.
We'll agree on it.
We'll do it together.
And that's
one.
next.
I hate this team.
All your favorite NBA players are back, and DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA, is the place to bet on NBA stars this season. What's up? It's Will Bowling. With more markets open for more of the game, DraftKings, the #1 sportsbook for live betting, is live when others aren't. New customers bet just $5 and get 3 months of NBA League Pass. Plus, score $300 if your bet wins. Paid in bonus bets. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code THEZONE. That's code THEZONE. Bet $5 and get 3 months of League Pass. Plus, get $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call or text the Tennessee Red Line, 1-800-889-9789. 21 plus, Tennessee only. Eligibility and restrictions apply. Bet must win to receive bonus bets which expire in 7 days. Minimum odds required. NBA League Pass auto renews until canceled. Additional terms at dkng.co/audio. Limited time offer. Ramona Will, 104.5 The Zone, fueled by Scooter's Coffee. Ramon Foster, Will Bowling, Justin Hawkins. Thursday 3 picks upcoming. I've got all 3 college football now. I was going to try to get an NFL winner.
Yeah.
But if you are both doing Missouri Vandy, I got to catch up somehow because I'm 9-15. So I've got to go, I guess, opposite of what y'all are doing or just try to pick the same games. And I do have a good feeling about my Missouri Vanderbilt pick, which we'll get to in just a moment.
Also, I will make an announcement.
Okay.
Brought to you by Uncle and them, your mama and them,
Sure.
3HL. I'll be on there this evening. I'll ask them about that.
Lovely.
Hey, it's about the Mike Keefe basketball analyst role.
Yes.
I'm here to tell you, for the people that are underneath my tweets, it will not be Run Slay. It's not Savage.
Okay.
Savage got like 15 other jobs himself.
Yes. Very busy man.
He also works for for ESPN, SEC Network, the logistics of it.
Television's Ron Slay.
I will say it's going to be exciting.
Okay. All right.
It's going to be phenomenal. You're going to love it, but it's not Ron Slay.
Shout out to your mom and them.
Shout out to your mom and them for that one.
Okay.
Yeah. I got a text from Mike. Mike's like, can you tell your Twitter followers they can stop adding Ron Slay about this?
Yes.
So it's not Savage on this one, although everybody would love that one. Can you imagine that podcast?
I can't wait to learn who it is.
Oh, my gosh.
Tennessee Athletics YouTube page and the Mike Keith Show.
He said 2 o'clock Eastern, 1 Central is what that would be. Subscribe to it, by the way, too. And subscribe to us.
I think it's 3 o'clock Eastern.
3 o'clock Eastern?
I think it's 2 Central.
Yeah, subscribe to our YouTube page while y'all at it.
I was looking this morning. 37% of people who watch this channel are not subscribed to it. Shout out to the 63%. But if you're in the 37%, please subscribe for us. It doesn't sign you up for anything. We're not going to message you. We're not going to email you. We're not going to spam you. You're just going to get us in your feed. And if you are a return listener, of course you would want that.
Hey, listen.
We're getting close to 18,000. We might actually hit 18,000 today.
I'm tired of saying we're getting close to it.
We want 20,000 by the end of the football season.
If y'all don't start subscribing, I'm going to go get a Switch. We're going to get it together. So
and pick a good one. Otherwise, we'll send you back out.
We're going to send you back. Y'all better subscribe to our page, man. I'm tired of begging y'all at this point.
Love it.
Thank you.
There you go. Also, in the same vein, Tennessee's next baseball coach will not be Kurt Schilling, even though Buster Olney put out there that Kurt Schilling is interested in the Tennessee baseball job.
Who was the, was it Kurt Schilling or somebody else, too, that lives in Tennessee? I think
Kurt Schilling.
It was Kurt Schilling?
There are a lot. Bryce Harper lives in Tennessee.
Who?
He lives in Knoxville.
Really?
Yeah, he lives in Knoxville.
Yeah, right.
Bryce Harper has a house in Knoxville. I think Barry Bonds actually lives in Tennessee as well. But we're not on speaking terms with the San Francisco Giants, so for obvious reasons. So we don't need to talk.
They brought out Barry to get him out west.
Yeah, it's fine.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, it's fine. Anyway,
Bryce Harper got a house in Knoxville.
Yeah,
if I had Bryce Harper,
that was
money, I'd be in Knoxville.
What, like 2 years ago, I think. Yeah,
yeah.
Dirk on YouTube says, "Ever since I subscribed, Buck sends me unsolicited DMs."
Prove them or it ain't real, dude. Prove it or it ain't real.
All right, let's go to the Thursday 3 picks against the spread. Justin and I were both 1-2 last week. Ramon was 2-1. Shout out. Justin is 14-10. Ramon is 12-12. I am 9-15.
Yeah.
What a rough start. I've had more 1-point losses than I can ever remember, but it's all right. It's a long season. We're not even halfway done with the Thursday 3 season because this thing goes through the Super Bowl. So we got time.
I'm doing decent because there's no pressure in me.
500 is great.
That's living.
Yeah.
And if I pick big, if I bet big on my fake bets, we going to dinner.
Yeah, on what? not on our winnings from this. So thank you. Out of the goodness of your heart, that's on what.
I got enough dinner money.
Yes,
hope,
you do.
Man.
You absolutely
gift
do.
cards.
No, trust me. I'm not doubting that. Yes.
I still got to invite you over to the house.
Yeah. Anytime.
Yeah. Either way.
Is it your deer family?
My deer family is thick.
Saw that on. You can see that on Ramon's new TikTok.
I'm debating if I want to get a salt block or some corn. But I don't want corn growing in my backyard.
Oh dear.
Oh dear. Moving on. We got to do a show.
This is a show.
It is a show. You're right. Here we go. I listened to Ty Furman yesterday on 3HL.
All right. Lead us off.
He said Ole Miss has yet to win a road top 10 matchup against an SEC opponent in years. Ole Miss is also going to Norman this weekend against a ranked opponent in the SEC against Oklahoma. As much as I want to bet with with Ole Miss and think that Alabama offense can cook, Todd Furman said the trend is not in their favor.
Okay.
I'm actually going the -5.5 Oklahoma and Norman this upcoming week. 11 o'clock game also.
Plus 5.5 Oklahoma. Or -5.5.
-5.5 Oklahoma is my first pick. I'm going with the expert on this one. Todd Furman was very convincing in this one. And, yesterday I was very pro Ole Miss and Trinidad Chandler's offense stuff. Furman said no.
I think it's a really interesting matchup because Oklahoma's turnovers, Ole Miss's run defense, again, it's weakness on weakness in terms of Ole Miss and their inability to stop the run, and Oklahoma's inability to run consistently outside of John Mateer scrambling around, and the quarterback run game making a big impact there. I think it's the kind of game that comes down to like 4 or 5 plays, and Oklahoma's ability to finish drives in the red zone. I mean, they've scored on 100% of red zone drives this year. It's unbelievable. And you look at it, yes.
I was going to say, you know how powerful that is?
Insane.
That's power right there.
For sure. And I don't know, the turnover ability of Ole Miss to turn over Oklahoma is going to be, I think, the key to the whole game. If that trend continues, then that's the recipe for a road team to get a win. Again, I would feel more confident about Oklahoma if this game was at night. The fact that it's at 11 a.m. just makes me feel like that environment is not quite as intimidating.
We've won there.
We have, recently.
I'm going to take the dog. I'm going to take the home.
We'll see Oklahoma next week.
I'm going to lay it on Oklahoma, though.
Justin, your first pick is what?
Hogs, logs. Forget about this.
Never forget. Even though they haven't really been locks lately. Ooh. But I am in the lead of the whole competition, though. Okay, I'll start the train on the Missouri and Vanderbilt here. I'm going to give number 10, Vanderbilt, the benefit of the doubt here. They are the home. It's game day. When's the last time Vanderbilt's had 2 college game day appearances in a season? I don't even know. But
probably never.
It's been over 78 years since they've been AP poll top 10. But here we are. This is a battle of surprise 6-1 teams. College football playoff hopes on the line here. Can Missouri slow down the hype train that is Diego Pavia? I don't know. But Bo Pribula has had 2 picks in the last 2 games against Alabama, against Auburn. He cannot be turning the football over. He cannot be turning the football over. Diego Pavia can't be having red zone turnovers like he did against Alabama. But these 2 teams they match up very well. This is 2 teams
very similar opponents. Yep.
Vanderbilt 41.4 points per game. Mizzou 39. Offense 486 yards per game for Missouri. Vanderbilt 457. Defense is similar too. This game is going to come down to, who's got the ball last. I'm going to give the edge to Vanderbilt at home. With that hype train, give me Vanderbilt -2.5.
All right. There you go. Why do you think Missouri 6-1 is a surprise?
They weren't even ranked to start the season.
They should have been ranked.
They should have. Missouri was good last year.
They were.
Bo Pribula was a little bit of, in my mind, personally, it was just a little bit of you weren't really sure, how you were going to go into the season. I just think Missouri's played well defensively. They've played well offensively and just stable enough. But it's not like they're killing opponents out there. I think they just match up very well in this one.
I disagree. I think this is the week Vanderbilt loses at home. I think Missouri is the kind of team Vanderbilt has not seen this year. Vanderbilt has not seen a rushing offense like Missouri. This is an unproven run defense that hasn't been tested like this season. Alabama and LSU are 2 of the worst rushing offenses in the SEC. South Carolina is too, especially without Lenore Sellers. I think Missouri comes to Nashville and beats Vanderbilt. I think Missouri covers the 2.5. I think Ahmad Hardy breaks out of the couple of weeks he's had that have been a little bit worse. The key to this game is third down. And you have 2 of the top 3 third down offenses in the SEC, Vanderbilt at 56%, Missouri at 54%. But the difference is the way that these 2 teams defend third downs. Missouri is the 3rd best third down defense in the SEC. Vanderbilt is 10th. That's the difference in the game because I think Missouri can sustain drives in the way that LSU couldn't. LSU had to rely on explosive plays and just crazy moments in order to score. But I think Missouri is the kind of team Vanderbilt is going to struggle with. I think this is the kind of team that Vanderbilt is going to regress a little bit again. So I've got Missouri plus 2.5 this weekend. 10th best third down defense of the SEC, I think, is the difference for Vandy.
I think Vanderbilt can hold their own against the rush, though. 92 yards per game that they're giving up.
Right, but who of those yards come against? They've not played a good running offense all season.
I get it.
That's the thing. They've got to prove it. It's the kind of the one thing they have left to prove, to me, honestly, because they've proven they can score with anybody. They've proven that they are good up front in the trenches. They just haven't seen a rushing attack like this.
Right.
And I think Missouri wins the game. Ramon, your second pick.
You got Vandy man there saying that, of course, you picked against them. You picked them last week. If I'm
Last
not
week,
mistaken,
no,
you didn't put them on your slide.
I didn't pick the game at all.
You put the upset there. Yeah,
No, I think you did the
your
over-under.
stance was.
I did the under last week. I did not pick against Vanderbilt.
Oh, I thought your conversation was Vandy gets LSU.
Well, I said
You didn't pick them, but I thought your
I said
stance
going into the
was.
game, if LSU wins, it's going to have to be in a way that they haven't shown us they can win this year.
Okay.
That was the point we made, and they didn't. It was that if things stayed true to form, then Vanderbilt will win the game, and things did stay true to form. So.
Gotcha. So there's a couple of fan bases that do stuff with certain fans. They hold them up on the pedestal, and you know where I'm going, okay?
I really don't, actually. This
is Titans fans holding Cam Ward up like, "Ah." I'm holding a figurine in my hand with a pumpkin head. This is Vandy fans holding up Diego Pavia, just our king. You know the king I'm going with? It ain't Doctor this time. It's Haynes. Do you hear me? I'm going to Georgia Tech, okay? Yeah,
what a segue.
You know damn where I'm going, man. Haynes King, our faithful leader, man. Do you understand me? I got Georgia Tech versus Syracuse. Syracuse is really, they don't have an answer at quarterback. They got injuries. They got a lot of stuff going on, but they don't have an efficient offense. Georgia Tech, Syracuse, 17.5 points. Georgia Tech, they're top 10. I think they're number 7 in the nation right now, led by Haynes King. Do you hear me? I don't care what pro team he's on. I'm buying the jersey, and don't ask me any questions, okay? If y'all see me with a Colts Haynes King jersey on, mind your business, okay?
Easy.
I'm getting the jersey. Haynes King up on the pedestal is where I have him, and anytime he's playing football, I'm rooting for him. Give me the 17.5 against Syracuse. Minus.
That's a lot of
I don't care what it is.
I've got good news for you.
You ain't got Haynes King.
I'll give you another point. It's 16.5 now on DraftKings Sportsbook.
Walk it down.
I like
Georgia Tech minus
I like that
16.5.
better. 17 points is better than 17.5.
Yep. Georgia Tech minus 16.5. So you're saying you love Haynes King the way Vandy fans love Diego Pavia.
Easy.
Okay.
Don't even have to think about it.
Nice. Justin.
Well, the opposite of Kings. We're to go to the night game in Death Valley.
Okay.
Brian Kelly's not a King.
Oh, okay.
Let's forget the metrics for just a second as they play number 3 Texas A&M at home. It's a huge game for Brian Kelly. Well, I'm pretty sure the last 2 to 3 weeks you've talked about desperation games. Mm-hmm. This is, quote unquote, a desperation game for LSU.
Yep.
LSU at home under Brian Kelly, 17-1 at when it's a night game at home. Their lone loss was last season against Alabama. Can the Aggies be like Alabama? We're not quite sure, but I do like what's their quarterback's name?
Marcel Reed.
Yeah, I like
Montgomery Bell Academy.
They have a really
Nashville.
good offense, and they're operating at a really high level. The defense is operating at a well level. I mean, despite last week against Arkansas, but the Aggies gained about 100 more yards on offense. I just like the desperation factor in this. Also, LSU's only giving up 14.6 points per game this season. I'm going to go with the desperation factor to try to get LSU and their playoff hopes alive. It's plus 2.5 is the line.
It is. Home dog. Under the lights. Death Valley at night.
That is a tough challenge to overcome despite the number 3 team in the nation.
It is. I agree. I'm going nowhere close to that one. Anything can happen in that. Texas A&M could take the crowd out of the game and win by 3 touchdowns. LSU could find itself. I just don't trust LSU. I'm done believing that LSU is going to meet close to their potential. I have quit LSU. I give up for 2025 until Brian Kelly makes some major changes or until he has a healthy quarterback, which he clearly doesn't have. I have quit LSU, but more power to you. I'm going to go to the great state of Memphis for Memphis versus South Florida. I like Memphis in this game. I think the odds makers have overreacted to a Memphis loss with an injured Brendan Lewis against UAB over the weekend. I think it also proved how bad of a college coach Trent Dilfer was at UAB. Separate conversation. USF is 9-20 on the road over the last 5 seasons. Now, 6 of those wins have come in the last 2 seasons, but Memphis has had South Florida's number. They have won 4 in a row against the Bulls. They have 8 wins in their last 10. I'm going off analytics and the model here of what Bill Connolly of ESPN put out. He puts out what his model has at the S&P Plus every week. His model thinks that Memphis should be favored by 5. Memphis is an underdog by 4.5.
What?
So I'm going with the S&P Plus and what the analytics say. When there is a 9-point gap between what Vegas and the analytics say, I tend to lean to the analytics when it's that big. USF 125th against the pass defensively. I don't care if Brendan Lewis is hurt or if it has to be their backup quarterback, Arrington Maiden, who starts this game. Now, that sounds like an NBA quarterback. I'm going to go with Memphis plus 4.5 at home against South Florida.
That was good.
Are those analytics with or without their starting quarterback, Brendan Lewis?
I don't know.
Because if he's out, I'm definitely going to take USF.
I don't care. I think it's the 125th pass defense, and they're going to make it work.
I get it.
Personally.
Last one quickly. Mine would be Alabama, South Carolina. I was listening to our firm again yesterday on 3HL. He actually don't think Alabama covers this one.
A lot of people don't, yeah.
Give me the plus 12.5, South Carolina. At home, they're in a fight-flight situation right now. So
I'll give you 11.5.
I'll risk it. Risk it.
All right, South Carolina plus 11.5. Yeah, Kalen aboard teams against unranked opponents.
Yes, that's what it was.
Problem, especially from a betting perspective. All right.
To the NFL, Buffalo Bills -7 at Carolina Panthers. I don't think Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills, especially after a bye week, are going to lose their 3rd straight, despite the Panthers winning 3 straight. I like what they've done. They had a good win against the Cowboys, but Sean McDermott, after a bye week, 9-0 straight up, 5-2-2 against the spread. I'm taking the Bills -7.
All right, Bills -7. Let me confirm that that's still the number. If I could find it, where in the world is it? There it is. Yes, Bills -7.
Furman said NFL is a favorites weekend. I don't know what that means. He said lay every favorite in the NFL this weekend, or most of them.
Sure.
I guess that's bet on the favorites.
Give me Indiana -25.5 against UCLA.
Damn.
I think UCLA is getting a little bit too much credit. Again, I think the pendulum has swung a little bit too far their direction. I respect a lot what Jerry Neuheisel and Tim Skipper and Nico Imaliava. I'll give credit.
He got banged up.
Where it's, yes, I'll give credit where it's due, but I just think Indiana's that good. -25.5, Hoosiers. Hoosiers. All right, there you go. Thursday, 3 picks. Little bit of a Vandy recruiting nugget I thought was interesting. Vanderbilt making a move for a big-time prospect, local prospect. A little bit of a unique situation. We'll talk about that next.
Work. It's what we do. Part of who we are. There is joy in work. And no matter what size your business is, the dedicated commercial team at Two Rivers Ford will find the work trucks and vans that keep your business moving. And Two Rivers is the only dealer that offers a 90-day free fleet management program that can help you save money on every single mile. The Commercial Vehicle Center at Two Rivers Ford. We work for you.
Ramona Willow, 104.5 The Zone, fueled by Scooters Coffee, wrapping up the show. So there is a very good recruit in Middle Tennessee at Nashville Christian, quarterback by the name of Jared Curtis. Jared has been committed to Georgia for a little while now. Jared will be visiting Vanderbilt, Missouri this weekend. On 3 with the report, Steve Wiltfong saying Georgia 5-star plus QB commit Jared Curtis will visit Vanderbilt on Saturday for its matchup against Missouri. Curtis attended a Vandy practice with his high school coach on Wednesday. For all the questions about, well, who's next after Pavia? That would be quite something.
Smart.
You are still battling very uphill battle to beat Georgia out for Jared Curtis, who's been committed to Georgia for quite some time. I don't know if anything will come of this specifically, but that is the next step for Vanderbilt now. Take the success that you're having and now start to raise the profile and level of some of the recruits that are on campus for Vanderbilt games and see how many of them you can keep around.
A top 3 quarterback in this cycle from the state in your backyard, fits the bill, mobile, got the arm, got the smarts. Smart. Vandy, if you are also as smart as your university say you are on the football side of things, whatever the NIL take, you got them on campus.
Yeah.
You got them for OV. Well, what does it take to drag you from Georgia?
We'll see. I mean, in this article, Peter Webb, Jared Curtis's agent of QB Reps, is quoted word for word saying, there are a lot of really cool things happening with Vanderbilt and Diego Pavia right now, and it meant a lot for Jared to come down and come down the road to his game, show his support, and encourage him to stop by. Let's be clear, Jared is a Bulldog. He's enjoyed seeing Vanderbilt succeed because he thinks it's great for the city, and he loves Diego, no question about it. But he's pumped to go to Georgia. He's pumped to be a Bulldog. That's his squad.
Sound like a lie to me.
Recruitments get a little bit more interesting when you get the recruit on campus. That's just the letter of the law of the way these things work, because when you get them on campus, things start to become a little bit more real. And even if it's not real yet, he's about to be on campus this weekend. So.
And Vandy's hot. Vandy's in a position. That was the one thing we spoke about. I remember the summer where I stood on the soapbox. I said I wasn't doing it no more. You're in Nashville. I think it's Austin and then Nashville as far as like the biggest, probably most popular cities as far as population and ongoings of it. If you're not selling this to the big recruits, if you're not putting money behind it, and y'all might be in the red for a little while until you get this thing figured out on how to get the guys that you want. But why not capitalize Nashville? Why? It was weird to me and to how that hadn't been a thing. But you also have to be good at first. And now, man, I would make Jared Curtis, I'd hide him in a closet until signing day at this point if I was Vanderbilt. I'm not into that type of stuff. I'm just saying, like,
hostage situation. Wow.
The full court press. Like, Clark
everything
Lee,
up to that, maybe.
Yeah, everything up to that. Clark Lee need to be at his house daily asking her, like, Mom, what's for dinner? Like, you call his wife, Mom, hey, Mom, what's for dinner? Like, that's all I'm saying. Like, and I say that as a Vols fan. Like, it's at this point, Vanderbilt's fan base need to be tweeting at Clark Lee, Candace Story Lee, and just putting pressure on them.
Well, the thing with Vanderbilt, I think, that should give Vandy fans hope for the future is that not everything happening with you that's good is just Diego Pavia this year as much as it was last year.
Facts.
Like, Diego was the foundation of everything a year ago. And I'm not trying to say that he's not this year, but there is more good happening, not named Diego Pavia, in 2025 than there was in 2024. You have legitimate trench monsters on both sides of the ball. You have built a really good offensive line, a really good defensive line. There is a culture of success that is sustainable, that has been built at Vanderbilt. And that's more than just one guy. I think Tennessee fans and other SEC fans love to have the comment of like, oh, what's going to happen to Vandy when Pavia's gone? Well, they're still going to be really good up front.
Yeah.
So they're still going to have a chance to win a lot of these games they're winning. So we'll see. But I thought that was interesting. Good for Vandy, getting Jared Curtis on campus. That's a big deal.
And cuff him to the goal post.
Back at it tomorrow morning, bright and early, 6 a.m. A loaded Friday on deck for you. Tomorrow, also a Nashville SC playoff game day, which I'll be on the call for NSC Miami tomorrow night. We'll talk a little bit about that. Of course, talk Titans and Colts. We will talk with Brent Hubbs, Sam Monson of the 33rd team, and Ron Slay to kick off your Friday morning. 2 o'clock today, Tennessee Athletics YouTube page for Mike Keith's basketball analyst announcement. Tune in.
Yes, indeed. But good people, you must remember at all times your Twitter fingers and your mic is always hot, baby.